Good evening. We're gathering here at the Miracle Group, and pleasure. Thank you, JJ, for hosting us. And yes,
Yay.
thank you, JJ.
Love having you.
Yay! So exciting evening. We're going to talk on page 99 tonight and connect to the light, and it is on feeling the connection. And we're taking a moment here to sign into our Million True Millionaire websites. And if you have an app, I was explaining and sharing with everybody that on the library are the advanced lessons that we did. And as I'm looking around, there's 8 lessons. If any of you want to listen to them, they'll be posted in the library. And we also have a series of 13 10-minute segment Joy Talks that Sylvia and I did together. Just on different topics for fun. There's also other people, for fun. All on Mondays, just a reminder, because we're having so much fun with this, there is at 12:30 mentoring sessions going on. I've done a few of them, and all of the ones are recorded, and they are in the library also. So if you would like to, they're all by subject. Anything exciting to you, go ahead and listen to them. Some of them have been pretty spectacular. Last week's was Harold. He's an MTM member. Reach out to him and we bent spoons with our mind last week and here's mine, just to show you.
You did this?
Yeah, Sylvia did it
Really?
work, so we did it with our minds. So, we probably were thinking for 5 minutes. And you just focus on, you hold it in any area you want to bend. And we
have
just
a whole
giving
workshop for that.
That's right.
On MTM on the library.
Yep, so please listen to it and do your own.
So you can watch it and do it at the same time.
So
You
you
can
just
watch
put
it
your
that
focus on one spot. So let's say there was one spot of your
on
own.
the library.
Yep, it's in the library.
Not quite yet. It's
So
to be
it's
uploaded.
Yep. So I'm just bringing your awareness to the library. You're going to have everything that we're doing. Sylvia and I with Receive Joy will be in Million True Millionaires Library. Again, the fee for that is $225 a year, and you get access to everything that we're going to do. So all of our postings as Receive Joy will be in that, and that's the platform for us.
This week, the assistant said she will upload everything for me.
Yes.
So that by
So
the beginning
again,
of next week, it
you have
shall be.
8 hours
I
of
will send
lessons
an email.
that are on there. If you've missed miracle group meetings, etc., there's 8 hours of lessons.
So this is called the Million True
Millionaires.
Do you have the business
Million
card?
True
I
Millionaires.
do.
What about, you had some lessons.
And you guys
just
have
put
it.
on the-
You're
on the-
signed in.
already.
Yeah.
You
I
had,
went
Teresa, some lessons at Whole Foods
on
and things. What were
the
those
website.
lessons?
That's what's on the
From there,
website.
they do
They're
have-
the advanced lessons.
They're on there?
They're on there, and they're
What-
each.
What are
they're
they
each.
called? Different things or different titles? Or they're all in one?
How are we titling them? They're just advanced
They're yet to
training.
be put on, so I will let
Yeah.
you know.
So something you'll see them. They're training. It's the only training that's on there.
Okay.
And there's 8 classes. They're really quite good, I have to say. So they are classes that us, after meeting this many times in a miracle group, will appreciate.
Once they're on, I send you the exact link, and you just have to click the link.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just saying, again, mark it down if you want to have some really cool mentoring sessions on all different topics. And then they're all recorded, so they're in the library, but this was a really fun one that we did. So we've got quite a group. There are 80 members in the group currently, and all international, cool people, positive people,
We have
doing
fun every
great
Monday.
things.
It's amazing.
We have so much fun. Join us if you can, if you ever have that time. Otherwise, go in the library and just pull the data.
Awesome. And that's Monday you meet?
Yeah.
Monday,
What time?
12:30.
5:30.
12:30.
12:30.
Noon.
Yeah, noon.
Kind of a lunch meeting,
And
and,
there
we
will
meditate
there's
together or
always an
something. There's always a
email.
leader.
There's always an email 1 hour before. So there's an email the week before on Wednesday or Thursdays with the topic already.
Uh-huh.
Then the day before on Sunday, like one day exactly before it starts, 12:30 on Sunday, there's an email. And then there's another email 1 hour before it
Oh,
starts.
boy, really determined to get everybody on board. Good.
And
Oh,
then
it's
you
just
can
fun.
just click the Zoom link in there and you join. So
Oh,
you
okay.
download
Oh, that's
Zoom
great.
and then it's,
Yeah.
And the entry for this is $220. How much is it?
$225
$225.
for the year. So the idea though is you'll have all the information, and if you're ever missing a Miracle Group meeting, that's where it's all
and you
being
have
located.
access to 80
everything.
plus people. It's ever growing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's,
That
Oh,
was
great.
the core,
We
the
have so
core
much fun.
beginning. And they are
Oh,
people that are different than our Miracle Group members.
and everyone
These are
can,
international people.
can use it also as a marketing platform because we have this newsletter and we feature a member.
Yeah, you can put on your violin stuff.
So you can like put that on, give us information and a
Oh, good.
picture. You can put your own profile up. You can meet
Oh,
with
that's great.
everyone and,
Wow.
and start talking. So it's a Miracle Group
Right.
internationally online.
Yeah. And
So
it's a marketing tool for all these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so far, I mean,
Uh-oh.
everyone is like-minded, positive.
That's
So
great.
much fun to play with.
Oh, that
So
sounds
every
great.
single one you can ask the question you can like go to, and they're all happy to talk to
Yeah.
you because they are like you and I. Because it's just like-minded particles that are attracting each other.
Chats are not working properly. I just opened up the app and Alexander sent the message right away, and I'm trying to move it, and it just goes and starts again, up and down, and just.
Maybe you need to connect to Wi-Fi or something.
It's not the internet.
No.
No.
Did you hit contact us, or how did you?
Yeah, it's like thinking.
It stops when just as soon as you touch it goes again.
Okay, now I'm here. So, what did you try again?
What did you do for this? Okay, so I'll keep talking while you're doing that.
There's nothing.
The desire for this evening is to post some of our askings. So if you can all just take a moment to begin this meeting by writing down, and this is such special times, and if you have any of your notebooks here, you can go in. Each of them do have a section for the month. So we're in April now, so can we just take a moment to write some April askings down? And remember in your mind, it's as if we're putting a line straight down the page. And on one side are your little askings, things that you can do, like plant flowers, go visit a friend. And the other side are your big
You're still
askings to
doing it?
God.
Okay, on the one
Yeah.
side, and the other side.
Yeah, so these are your God askings, and these 5 little things are
right
things
here.
that you can do.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's still doing the funny thing you just showed me.
Well, from this page where you open, it stays the same.
John, do you have a charger for an iPhone?
Because it's like, I had your profile when I exited it, so.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm starting out with Connect to the Light is finished, everyone. The good copies, they are being mailed to us. And we also have the Focus Wheel workbook.
Can I sit up with
And so for me, selling the books, getting it out there, and
Can you take a picture of this and send this to me?
calling all my contacts, connecting with everybody, encouraging everybody, and sharing. And the other thing that I have on my goal list for April here is asking for help from others. That's something that Sylvia and I were praying over and saying, if this, as JJ was saying, this information is so helpful, who else could the book Ask and You Shall Receive help? Who else could the Miracle Group meetings? You're so gracious in sharing this information. I know you personally have shared with some people to get them to me to help them with their health. Who else can we reach out? What are other ways? And that can be off
Oh, we
record.
have like a
but
really
though-
fun story today. So like my friend Brian, also from Military Millionaires, he was asking me yesterday, oh, do you have a Goodreads account?
A what?
A Goodreads account. Goodreads is obviously where people
Good and read.
do-
Read a magazine. Good.
Oh.
Good read.
like they can select their books and they can then write reviews, and obviously in the writing world this is more important than Amazon reviews.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so that was news for us.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, we have yet to make a Goodreads account, and like I have to like put, and then I was thinking, okay, so then I have to upload all my books, and you know, like the same with everything, you know, like with the ISBN number and here, and I was like, when do I do that? When do I schedule that next? And then today, or even yesterday, I did like an account just for Receive Joy. I wanted to just, you know, like get the flow starting, get myself in the dream of doing it. And when I then typed in ask and you shall receive, I saw a picture coming up with our book. So then I was clicking on it and it was like saying more books from Receive Joy, and all the other books came up.
Yes, that's really
So
fun.
they're already, all the books out there are already on Goodreads. I just have to know that now I requested
To
so,
open.
So now I was like, I had to click, are you the author? And I already opened an account, so I just want to have it linked now, or and I need to get verified now that I'm the author.
Awesome.
So, but the books were already on there. So the whole thing about going home, when I started, there's so much la 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 going on. So sometimes God already took care of it.
Right, right, and that's part of what we're absolutely going to
Amazing.
speak of now on page 99. So take a few minutes, everyone, and write down, since it's the beginning of April, your
And we will
April
fix that,
goals.
Oh, I'll just gonna stop.
So
Yes,
put
we
down
will
some
fix
big
that.
ones. You were
Yeah.
mentioning that you get your online classes all set up and your sharing your
But it's
concerts.
good that you tried
Right,
it. Now I
yeah, for the
can
for the
feel
retirement
further.
communities, that's a huge.
So we didn't
that
find
once
it
they
in
get in
store.
there, then that after this whole thing blows over, I'll just continue with that.
All right, so do write down that you have everything that your big askings. Skyder, what are your this month's askings, your big ones?
I haven't even thought of it yet.
We were
I was
playing with the app.
app.
Okay, so for Sylvie, what are yours?
I
A
was-
couple big ones. Okay, I'm doing selling the books, connect to the light, the workbooks. We're going to share everybody to look at the workbook all done, the focus wheel workbook, and calling our entire contact list, and also inviting everyone here and everybody who's listening online that we are going to do our book party. Possibly it'll end up being the same exact beginning June as we did the last time. We did it the first week in June, and that seems like where we're going to target it with the current situation of finally gathering again.
Yeah.
So if everyone's in town or anyone that wishes to join us, we have so many. We were going through the list, just what a loving list of all the people who came the last time.
Oh, I wrote down already for my March 2020 earlier. I wrote down Wi-Fi and printer, and I got both. That's already
Okay.
done.
Okay, we're on to April now.
Already.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
We're on to April. That's what we're here, starting the new.
Okay. Okay. One big goal is catching up with myself.
Okay.
Where are these askings going? Who's gonna see them? Where?
So it's like there is a forum on Million True Millionaires.
And is our name attached to it?
Well, it's your username you chose.
Okay, so everybody that's a member will see what my askings are.
And that is the thing, because then you get the second energy from it. Then everyone can second it.
Which model
Yeah,
is this?
so-
Is this
So
something-
if
So
you
they-
have some asking that is
So
purely
that is
between you and your creator,
It's Mac.
then you can just write, I have this big thing that is between me and my creator, can you just second it?
Yeah. Though it's kind of fun to share, like James Stevens is making these recordings of his concerts, so that's a beautiful thing to share, that he's making violin recordings. So that might make somebody else think of making some recordings of what they do. So when we have a public forum, what's nice is you're actually, like JJ was saying, you are encouraging each other, even if it's kind of beyond our realization in that moment. We're doing something to encourage each other. Just by stating what you're doing
Yeah.
is exciting to someone else.
Okay, so my biggest asking, Receive Joy does some social media marketing, and we have a social media marketing strategy now.
Okay, so can you show us how to post the asking?
So when you're on Million True Millionaires and you are logged in, you have up here forum. So you click on the forum. And the first one is askings. So you can go right into askings. And then you have the explanation here, how you can post it. There's also, in the library, there's a section on how to use the MTM platform. There's a lot of videos on how to use it. It is kind of self-explanatory, but was, you know, like if you really want to dig deep. So post your askings here. And I know Sky did it before many times.
A few times, yeah.
Yeah. So there's like Rob asking to become a digital nomad, and then Hattie's asking for the right career path forward, and we can actually just post our asking when we scroll down, and we can create a new topic here. So the topic title is, what is my big asking? What I can post
Social
on.
media. Receive joy on social media.
Regularly, yeah.
Yeah. And my niece is actually doing a little bit of Facebook posting currently.
Yeah, we have
so
like a
it's
plan now. We have a schedule that we
Mhm.
post 3 times a week, and she's helping me with the memes. So that's fun.
So I second that, social media.
And then we
Success.
will figure out the Facebook Live things for the next Miracle Group meetings.
Healthy nation. And a
But
healthy
you can,
world.
You can really go and see what's written there, actually. It doesn't, can't really read it.
Yeah, can I take a picture?
Mhm. So a healthy nation for me and a
My
healthy
IT guy
world.
has to fix that. Everyone obviously has
And
Never came up.
people
Very helpful,
accepting
thank you.
their healing.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that exactly? You could explain that.
How do I make pictures?
What?
Like,
Okay, people accepting their healing.
yeah.
Okay, so in the Bible, it tells us in 2 Peter that we are healed by his. We have been healed by his stripes. Okay, so when Jesus came and he did a complete work for us, we were healed. And what this class that we're sitting here right now understands is everything that we ask for then comes into this manifestation called humanity, physical form. So if you do believe that you were healed 2,000 years ago with his stripes, call it forth. Speak it forth. Write it down. I am healed by his stripes.
And it says in the Bible, you know, with the stripes, so 39 stripes, and they say that everything, every disease, every sickness there is, can be in one of these 39 categories. So that's why we say, by his stripes I'm healed, because of the categories, because he done everything, he covered everything.
Right.
Those are from the stripes from the whipping?
Yes.
Okay.
So that
Because
was
he took it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what it's more than just whipping. What it is transformation. So like a caterpillar goes into a butterfly, we all know this in the crystalline structure. It has to struggle out of its own cocoon, otherwise it dies.
Right.
So if you pop that cocoon open, it'll never be able to fly. So it has the crystalline structure, and the I'm going to use it, the action to get out is already pre-planned, which pushes all the circulation. And so this is pushing our mind circulation here when we can declare, 2,000 years ago I accept my healing by your stripes, Jesus. 2,000 years ago I accepted. It is now accepted in my life. So each of us call in that acceptance. And that is why we're sitting here right now in this time, right? When people say social distance, and we're very comfortable being here together in this moment, simply because we trust. And that's where feel the connection. So when we understand that literally everything was set up 2,000 years ago for perfection, prior to that, that's the Old Testament, right? That's when people had to live by laws and eat certain cleanly animals and wash things and behave certain ways. It was for their good, for their life. They had to do certain things because we now have sanitation and running water, and we have hand sanitizers and toilet paper. So they had a lot of religious laws back then to keep them alive. Although 2,000 years ago, things changed and we became under grace. And the law was what we say fulfilled. So Florence Shinn, in her work, The Game of Life and How to Play It, she says, and I love this, she said, change the word law to Lord. Okay? So by the Lord, right? We were done, I am healed. By the law, things were taken care of. By the Lord, things are taken care of under grace. So it's already been done. So when we can totally smile and dance like we're hugging each other here tonight and be in celebration, we're in acceptance that perfection is now here and everything's been done. So feel the connection. We are truly connected to God when our heart feels His presence. The feeling of connection may vary from each and every one of us. It may be a knowing, an all-knowing, as if someone is surrounding us with love. All right, and I know JJ feels that all the time, and she wears a little heart around her neck to remind her of that love, right? That's part of why you wear those certain things. I have a cross that reminds me of that love. A warm, comforting gut feeling.
I have an angel wing.
And an angel wing, okay, yes. So that warm, comfortable gut feeling. And James Stephen, maybe you'll talk to that for 1 second in this. When we talked about your shoulder that evening we were together, that might have been one of the last times we were together in the group setting. We were maybe one or two more times since then.
Yeah.
Though that gut feeling, that confident gut feeling had left you for a moment.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you have it back, correct?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I had.
So what was the difference? Explain the feeling that was different.
Well, the feeling was that I was very much being governed or ruled by a sense of fear and despair. That this shoulder was not operating very well, and the medical establishment, I had given them some credence, and they were saying it was going to take a lot of things to do.
So you and your creator had a belief that you were healed 2,000 years ago, and what did you do with that belief temporarily?
Well, it was tabled, it was forgotten.
It was forgotten.
Yeah.
And then when you re-remembered it.
So when I re-remembered, then I was back in a state of grace, and all the conditionings and all the clouds and the illusions were dispelled.
They fell away, right?
Clear, it's completely clear as day.
Yeah.
And so when we were speaking about going forward and getting together, doing the high frequency sound healing, I just knew, because I have complete faith in yourself as a healer and just as a light being who's connected with spirit so well through Christ, that this is a done deal, and I just need to get together with you. And I gave up all my concerns. I just knew that this was happening, and I was in grace, and grace was moving into this field where I was in this miracle meeting.
Right.
So of course miracles are going to happen. So
Right.
beautiful.
So you know the difference of feeling grace with a smile, and I call it as if the world falls away.
Yeah.
All that what he said, she said, they said just falls away, and you just go forth, even if you're the only one with your creator, and you just, yes, I got this. You mentioned this just like that. You said, I know this is right. So it's that absolute all-knowing feeling, and we use our gut when that just feels so right. And in that very moment, the whole world, I say this, falls away. So the thing listening to anybody is zero. It's like, you know what? This is right for me and me alone, and everything is fine. It's just fine. And when you can live in that moment and that feeling, right? You had that confidence with Oscar moving here. You said there will be the day that he's here. And you smiled about it and you joyed in it. And it took 2 years, though the day is here.
Almost 3 years.
Okay. So,
But
right?
But
you
we
kept
knew
it.
that. We knew that it's going to take time, but we had confidence, complete confidence. It wasn't that he's not going to move here. It's when he's going to move here.
Right.
Because it had to feel good, and the house had to be done, everything. So everything was perfect.
Right.
So
And it-
actually, when did you allow yourself to have him move here? And when
Yes.
did Oscar allow himself to move
To
here?
move here, everything aligned.
yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
All right. So being aware of the gut feeling, and Skydra, you do this
I mean,
very well
Sky
too.
is faster.
Yeah. So Sky, think about when you declared, I had enough school, the massage school. It's time now for me to get my license, right?
Yeah, I
Sky
did-
does,
I
does
did-
everything fast.
Right. So it felt right, right? You just had enough, and you redeclared it and reinvented it into a better scenario. Now would be good for me to get out and start working, earn some money right now, and then everything changed. So the world fell away, right? The school from 11 years closed up, and she was the very last student. And they said, just kind of get out of here. Here's your degree. Go do whatever you want with it, and you don't even have to pay. Because we got to just close this all down and be
I
done.
asked for forgiveness, so they just.
Yeah, forgiveness of the loan. And those are the exact words, if you ever want to write these words down, forgiveness of the loan. So people say, I want to be debt-free. The word is forgiveness of. Because remember, grace has one other word next to it, forgiveness. So if you're in the law of grace, where the stripes were born for you 2,000 years ago, and you accept them, we've got perfect healing, we've got grace, and we've got forgiveness. Because if you live in the moment, what did you have to do about yesterday and everybody about yesterday? Forgive them. They have to be gone. So it's not just that we have to say, oh, I'm so sorry for you, or I'm okay about you. What it means is you threw away the tablecloth from yesterday. You rolled it all up with all the pieces, and you put it in from your kitchen trash to the curb, and you let the truck come. Take it away. So grace is trumping the earthly karma. So anybody who's in yoga and all this, we talk about karma, what goes out comes out. We used to call it the golden rule and all that. And if this is one of the advanced lessons that you can pull off the MTM library, Million True Millionaires library, is the law of grace trumps karma. So if you'd like to supersede karma where it's always just perfect, and it has zero to do with what you did or do, or what vibration you send out, then live in grace. And when you live in grace, karma is superseded. It's like an airplane is heavy, and we have gravity until the law of lift takes off. Okay? Then it trumps the law of gravity, and you're flying in a heavy airplane. And you get to wherever you want to go. It's amazing. So that means laws can be trumped. And that's what the advanced training is about, is us learning how to then take all that we've learned here and start moving up the elevator shaft and look out different windows. And when you look out the window on first floor is different than on 10th floor, is different than on 20th floor. Okay, so we are under the law of grace if we declare it, and that's by my stripes I have been healed, and that's why we're here totally happy. Whatever goes on out there falls away, and here we are. So a lead, a nudge, an urge, an instinct, or an intuition. That is part of feeling connected. So let's give some samples when you just knew. You just met Yasik recently.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that was just an urge or a hunch or something. Well, tell us about that. What was it that just said, okay?
I just actually felt like someone is leading and guiding me. It's someone making me text or do something, just like it wasn't even me doing it, and just everything just felt right.
And so you did it. You picked up your phone and you text if that was the message to get. Just get up and go. So we're here tonight because we each had a lead or a hunch or an urge saying, we're doing this. She said, my house is open. We're doing this tonight. Tonight we're having a meeting.
I was so tired and I was so running around, but yet I needed to be here. I wanted to be here.
That's
Something
right.
was pushing me to be here.
That's right. So those urges, those hunches, those nudges, when we grab hold of those, then miracles will always happen. Because see, our inner being knows how to lead us.
So Donna, do you have something where you had this all-knowing, when you actually knew something was exactly I remember you told me about moving to Florida. That was something maybe that was an all-knowing that you had to do that.
Oh,
Or maybe
like
can
in
you-
1995 '93, as we were like doing our tour of Florida with kids, I wanted to go to the museum in Fort Myers. I wanted the kids to see the Henry Ford Museum. And then I wanted to see Naples because I heard it was beautiful. And it was back in the days when the only way you got around was with the map. And so we're going from Fort Myers down to Naples, and it's all woods. I mean, there's barely anything to look at. And I'm thinking, will we ever get there? Will we ever get there? You know. And my eyes kept focusing in on Bonita Springs. And you know, as we're approaching Bonita Springs, there's really nothing to
there
look
in
at.
93.
But I'm like, my eyes just kept staring at Bonita Springs, and I got this feeling that there was something significant about it. And then I forgot about it. And then 2004, so that was better than what, 10 years, 12 years later, a friend of mine said, we just bought a place in Bonita Springs. And I'm like, where? And she told me, and the very next day, my husband's relatives called and said, we have cousins that just bought a place in Bonita Springs. And they wanted to know if you would be interested in renting it because they're still working. And I got the map out and I went, oh, that's that place that I remembered. Like my eyes were just, and I mean, I don't like looking at maps and looking at anything when we're riding in the car. It makes me sick to my stomach, but my eyes were focused on Bonita Springs.
Right.
Like there was something significant about it.
So at this stage in our life now, so we'll speed the clock up from the 90s to now 2020, are we immediately writing down or circling the map that's saying something's happening here, so I'm going to circle that and I'm going to pay attention. Something's happening here. Something. And now let's just write it down. And let's just say, I'm going there, I'm touching it, I'm texting, I'm going to do something to bring this in. So the other day I was walking and I'm saying I'm winning the lottery. I've won the lottery. I've won the lottery. That's my asking for this 2020. And so as I'm walking in to buy a ticket, on the floor is a lottery ticket, right? And it's dirty and it's use a scratch off. And I said, I'm going to bend down because this is part of creating the dream. The universe just knows lottery. One, whether it's a used ticket or a new ticket, it's all the same, right? So I bent down and the winning number on it was 33. And so that's how old Jesus was when he was crucified, 33 years old. And on Valentine's Day, someone had purchased 33, the Day of Love, 33 books of Asking You Shall Receive on Amazon from us. And so the number 33 was just recently very dear to us, right? Because we said, the Day of Love, God, thank you for buying our books, because I'd been asking God to buy our books. And so, when you think on Amazon, who bought them? I'm like, well, God bought them, obviously, 33. So then this lottery ticket, because I keep saying, we won the lottery now. This is it, I've won. And the winning number for that scratch off was 33. It was just a ticket laying there. The idea, though, the win for me was I understood what the 33 meant.
Okay.
And I did bend down and pick up the dirty ticket and keep that and put it in my gains in my book, because it means, I know what it means. It's God talking to me. Even though the person threw it away, I picked it up because it had a win for me.
Right.
So are we bending down and picking up those things and laughing about it and knowing exactly? And when I bought my tickets, we had been to a meeting with Donna, and the meeting was, a penny is but $1 million. You remember when he said that to God? A penny is but, and a day is but a moment. So if a penny is but $1 million to God, I keep saying, okay, God, then when I buy my next lottery ticket, I'm going to look down and you better give me minimum a dime on the floor, right? Sure enough, I walked out from buying the tickets and there was a dime laying right on the floor there. So I'm like, okay, I'll keep collecting. So now instead of just having a winning penny, I'm lining them up. So I have the penny, the dime, 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, And I'm saying, okay, now we know the lottery can be up to 100 million. I'm going to keep lining those pennies. So now, since that time, when I see the penny, it's now worth $1 million when I bend over and pick it up. And remember, the universe, it's all, super conscious is a puppy. It's whatever you tell that the value of that penny is, that the universe will match it. So are we saying, it's just a penny, throw it down? Are we saying $1 million, pick it up? Wow, this is the joy that we have. And in this comes another thing, a lead, a nudge, an urge. And now we're going to share a quick story. that's really fun is if somebody around you has a better vision about something than you do, can you just say, I like your vision, let's go with that one. So if you say, but I logically know that can never happen and this happened to my friend, you know, we want to tell everybody that, right? Psh. Say, how do you think it's going to turn out? Oh, the band is going to play and we're going to win money and they're going to love us and we're going to be, you know, on the float carried on people's shoulders. I like your vision. I'm going with that one. So my daughter, when she had her laptop stolen, and I remember, I've said this story before, it's just so fun, is as a mother, when she comes home and I said, you know, the laptop was taken out of the car, it wasn't locked, this and that, right here in our neighborhood. And she said,
Your
oh, Mom.
neighborhood?
Yeah.
Your neighborhood?
Yeah. When she said, oh, Mom, Apple Care will pay for it and buy me a new computer. And I'm thinking, does she even know what Apple Care is? They just tell you how to use your computer, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I like her vision that Apple Care will buy her a new computer, that she'll get a free computer and all be fine. She got a free computer.
The newer version.
Well,
Right.
she believed it.
She believed it.
She believed
So
it.
she had a better, so are we abdicating, I'm going to say that, to somebody in the room that has a better belief than ours? Can we put our ego, or whatever illusion we want to say, under our butt and sit on it and say, do you know what? I love that person's
How,
illusion.
what did
It's
she-
much better than mine. It was bought on American Express,
Oh, yeah.
and American Express bought her a new laptop and a better one because they bought the modern one, the brand new one. So with American Express, again, within 90 days, if something gets stolen, they'll replace it.
Yeah, but they've taken
Wow.
that away, you know. It's.
It was just that she had this illusion that she was getting a free brand new computer.
No matter
Somebody
what.
else was paying for it, right?
And it was within the 90 days.
Yes, it was literally a day before the 90 days or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
So what was just fun is she's just 16, 17 years old, and
I
she
have
just
a similar
believed.
Story. I had what's the mixer? The good mixer. when you
Vitamix.
put-
Oh, Vitamix.
Vitamix.
And I froze some ice in there,
Uh-huh.
and then I stupidly turned it on and burnt the motor out. I called them, and they said, well, your warranty is already over. I said, let's double check again. I said, I think that I bought it before then. And she double checked, and then she said, oh, well, your receipt was this, but it's interesting that you bought it, it says you bought it earlier or later, whatever. It was for my sake. It
Yeah.
was, and literally they sent me a new one.
Right. Right.
So I did have a story
do you
like
see,
that too.
even when
Free.
the world tells you it's not going to happen, your world, because you're your world,
Yeah.
if any part of you or any part of your world, the puppy around you, the child around you, the spouse that says, I think we can make this happen, if their story and their gut feels better, go with somebody else's gut. James, Stephen, we did that together about your shoulder, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So when your gut wasn't feeling so good, but there was somebody in the room that had a freer gut, go with their gut feeling.
Yeah, and it was easy because
It was so
I
easy.
didn't have anything to really stand on.
That's right. So do you see? So then abdicate your position, because it's an illusion,
Yes.
to somebody who's more cheerful, somebody who's more positive, somebody who's getting, ready to go to the moon and higher. Go with their thoughts. And it's really fun, because when you do that, miracles can happen in the moment.
And even
All
the
right.
spoon bending. I mean, you might go in.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
So that
So-
everyone
Yeah.
in the
Too.
Let's
yeah,
do it.
we'll do it together.
Let's
We'll
do
do
it.
it one miracle.
Love
So the idea though is in the moment, right? Everybody has the thought, well, can I really do that? Even though you're holding it, you close your eyes, you're ready to do it, and it's like, will it really happen? We all have that one moment, right? Because we're in this human variety. And here's our training that we immediately go back, yes, I will. Yes, I will, because others have done it before me. Yes, I will. This is the focus wheel, right? Yes, I will, because I've seen it done. Yes, I will, because even a child can do it. Yes, I will, because God's stripes 2,000 years ago left me a perfect life. Yes, I will, because there's grace and forgiveness, and I am forgiven already. Yes, I will, because... And so that focus wheel, start playing each spoke in your mind. That's why we have that focus wheel workbook going on. And when you can give yourself enough yes I cans, like the little train that could, guess what? It'll happen every
We have,
time.
one version already. I ordered 30 copies. So if you want to have one, let me know. Then I put your name down.
That's corrected one?
Yeah, that's all set. That's the workbook of the
That's
focus
all
wheels.
good to
All
go.
right, so
So-
use your
so-
own hunches, urges, nudges.
So you could
So
declare, I have immunity to the virus.
That's right, but let's make it even better. I've got perfect health because of Jesus' stripes 2,000 years
Perfect,
ago.
done.
To everything.
I never believe it.
Declare it first, enough times. Lean on somebody if you need to as a second energy, and then go further than just a virus. Let's go to everything. I'm perfect. I've got perfect immune system. I've got perfect health. My cells work beautifully all the time. All right. So let's go and start declaring, and then talk to your own body, everyone. Remember, we are here to speak life. My body works perfect. Come on, arm. Come on, arm, move. We talked about this with your shoulder. Move it, move it. Come on, shoulder. Little more, little more, little more, little more. And we've proven that if you speak to the flesh responds. It is absolutely a chemical reaction. It listens to your words. Water gets moved by words. Dr. Emoto's work again. We are 70% water. Your flesh has water in it. Speak to the water in your flesh.
Same thing if you speak to your mind.
Yes.
Changes, reshifts.
Yes. And this is all the field. And I want to share with you again, we had an article coming out in 2017 and came out in Natural Awakening magazine with Sharon. And I was so excited, Sylvia and I, to have about Asking You Shall Receive. They put a little article about our miracle group right here, this group that we're doing, right? It's so the writer had been around in some other states or countries, and they were doing miracle groups. And then we said, hey, how about write about ours right here in Naples?
First asking that came even before that was like, we wish to have a free article, a natural or like advertisement, a Natural Awakening, and we all know the media kits from them. They're like something. So that was our first asking. Let's have a free article. Then a friend came and said, oh, but remember, do it in season. So that was like in June or something. And I was like, yeah, she's right. Summer, less readers. Winter, more readers in Naples. So December, Christmas is a great time to have like an article. And we completely forgot about that. So our first article in Natural Awakening was actually then in December.
Right. And the writer on this, the lady who had gone and taken miracle group experiences around with other miracle groups in different states, she actually I wrote a book years ago in 2008, I believe, with Andreas Goldman, and that book, The Magic Power of Your Mind, that book was edited by a lady here in Naples, and I hadn't thought about her since 2008 when I paid her the check, and it was Linda Sequest. Is that her? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And she's the one who wrote the article. Okay? In 2017. And the best part of that fun thing is when it got printed, I love the field. The field is Lynn McTaggart, who's talked about all what we're talking about here, of how there is a quantum field that exists out there. Call it the web or whatever. And all information sits there. Call it the Akashic Records. Call it collective consciousness, oneness. And so I said,
And she puts all the science down for that.
Yes, and
great.
she's interviewed all the scientists. She's a journalist, so she's interviewed all the quantum physicists and scientists, and she's just showed, just like we say, that we can trample new paths. That's why if your kid has a more exciting path or somebody has a more joyful path than yours in the moment, go trample their path with them a few times because it's more exciting. And if they have better beliefs than you do in that moment, say, hey, can I just come on your path for a minute? And then you can make one right next to theirs in their way. So she's written the field, and it's time to bring that book out again if you'd like to. I've got the CDs on it if you want to listen to it again. And when I opened it up, her article was right next to ours.
Oh, wow.
Is that-
Her name was Lynn Taggart?
Lynn
McTaggart.
McTaggart. McTaggert.
Yeah, the field. So it's something to look back into.
ART?
It could be RT. The Field. It's called The Field. It's a book, and she's done it on CDs. Yeah, it's so great. All right, so a sense of serenity. All right, and James Stevens was so good to share that, and so was Skyder. The moment he just said it was all okay, all of a sudden you got your confidence back. Like it was serene, right?
Very, very sublime, yeah.
Yeah, just
And we had three ultrasound sessions,
Yeah.
which were supposed to be by the authorities,
Uh-huh.
self-declared authorities, that
Uh-huh.
it was going to be a $30,000 operation, and I was going to have to be cut open, and it was going to be surgeries and stitching, and it was going to be immobile for a month and a half or 2 months.
Yeah.
I never had
Yeah,
to do that.
and the good thing is you got in your common sense corner. I loved what you said and said, 2 months? Well, that would be the same. If I have to recover for 2 months, I might as well just work on it myself for 2 months
Exactly.
without the recovery from surgery and scars and whatever else they were planning.
Yeah.
So it was great that you got in your common sense corner. So I would add one of the things on here is get in your common sense corner for a moment with your creator. And really sit down and say, wait, let me just think through this for 1 second. Me alone with my creator. Let's have a little discussion in my own corner here. And just say, what feels right to me? Where's that gut feeling? Do I get any leads, any nudges, any hedges? So a sense of security and serenity. Where is that, just that secure little me in this? Where the world falls away and everything is okay. So how do we get there for that moment in that thing? It's amazing how we get there. We get there when we start saying, I'm satisfied in this moment. So when you got this wonderful, in that moment, when you first went out with Yatsik and saw a movie, right? You were satisfied in that moment, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You had fun. And then he said, would you like to do something? Or you said you'd like to do something. You're like, yeah, I was satisfied in that moment. I'm going to try again and see if I'm satisfied. You too. You were satisfied in a moment, then you went back and had another moment. So if we can just sit back after every hour of the day and say, was I satisfied in that moment? And if planting these nice little plants here made you satisfied, JJ, that's what you did, right? You put them in this pot. Oh, it looks nice. You put it on your table, and you were satisfied with this planting in that moment.
Now they're
And
going to give me some flowers,
And they are
babies.
satisfied.
Look.
And they're satisfied in this moment too. So then, right, if we're driving somebody to the airport, are we satisfied with that in that moment? Are we satisfied with the next step? But you're now going to get satisfied by recording your music and sharing it with the elderly. Okay, so let's just start making 8 things a day. That's why you have 5 little blanks there. 5 little things that you can be satisfied with in a day. Start with the 5 in your notebook. So in the Daily Asking Journal, there's 1 through 5, and those are 5 little things that you can be satisfied, that we call it, you can do it as a 10-star experience. So let's talk about planting these. Can you just tell us, JJ, how that came about?
They were planted in 3 different little pots.
Uh-huh.
And then I got this pot as a gift.
Okay.
And I looked at it and I said, oh, what if I connect all of them together instead of being lonely all apart and kind of just, really, they look
little
lonely.
family.
And I put them all in one because they weren't blossoming or anything. And once I put them together, look at this, the babies are coming out.
Right, and then you put it on your table.
And then I put it on the table.
So do you see how this becomes a 10-star experience? It was first just 3 individual little plants,
Yeah.
and it was less than satisfying. They
Yes.
felt lonely.
They felt
And
like-
then she
looked like they
decided to
started
combine
wilting.
them.
Yeah.
So here, step 1, each other. They have each other. Step 2, a beautiful pot that you found that was big
given
enough
to
for
me,
all of
actually.
them. Step 3, a position in your house that you could look at them every day and bless them,
Yes.
right on the kitchen table. Okay? So step 4, you like to garden. And
Yes.
step 5, these are her favorite plants, obviously, because she has
You
tons
know
of them
it.
out the front door, right? And they're my favorite too. So I absolutely love orchids, and so they're
So Anna said she always feels like connected with someone with orchids. So when I talked to her, the first thing I did, for some reason, she saw this page. Here, she saw this page.
Wow.
So
Yeah, we were at the gardens for Sylvie's
Well,
birthday.
she said the same thing. She said
Oh, yeah.
some healer told her that she's going to be invited into a spiritual healing world with somebody who's going to have a lot of orchids in her house all around. And then she looks around. She's like, you're the one because you have orchids in
It's all-
front, here, everywhere.
yeah, so she is guided by
So
orchids.
she was guided by
knows.
orchids.
She
So
knows
she
that
was
her
aware,
side
yes.
is
Aware.
orchids.
Mhm.
So that
So-
she knows, she felt like completely aligned with me. I mean,
Yes,
even before, but
because
when
she
she
saw
saw
that
the
too.
orchid, then within the hour of
Signs.
talking,
There were signs.
science
Signs,
and
right.
wonders.
So it was
Signs and
interesting.
wonders.
I have a really short story, but my mom made me a pillow for a massage, a heating pad cover because it was breaking down. the heating pad was breaking down. It was spilling the little beads. So she made me a little pillowcase and sewed it over it because she could sew. And she picked this thing, I don't know even where, but on it had different islands. And one of the islands I always looked at, it said St. Croix.
Yeah.
And I was like, where is this? St. Croix. I must go there maybe one day. All these Virgin Islands, da-da-da-da. And guess where I moved to when I moved to Naples? My place was in St. Croix. And I kept telling my mom that I'm going to live somewhere tropical because I need to live somewhere warm.
Right.
And so first place I lived, it wasn't the island, but I was in St. Croix community.
Right. So now those are the things
That was
that
the
in our
only
journals
puzzle.
and in our inspiration, this is an inspiration. So there you go. Let's make an overall master list of inspiration. Bonita Springs was inspiration. So if you had an overall, you're St. Croix. So can we make these master lists of inspiration? In the moment, it might just be like, gosh, why am I looking there? Why am I looking there? Why did I go
Always
3
kept looking
times?
at it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
So then
gonna
you
be
say,
over
wow, I'm
and
just
over
going to
and
write
over.
this down, and then I'm going to open up my inner being that's connected to all that is, and let's just let a St. Croix connection keep happening, right? So be aware of these urges, wonders, and then call forth all the wonders. Every day wake up and say, God, bring me your wonders and signs. Show me signs and wonders. And you'll jot them down. That's why we have all these journaling in these books.
So when we
do our daily inspiration, on every day page, when you write the date on there, write down a sign or a wonder that comes up, or a name, a Bonita Springs, or a St. Croix, or a Orchids. So that we then say, yes, now I brought it to my attention that this is going to give me something great. Whatever it is in whatever moment, it's the smallest, little, funniest things.
So usually, like when anyone tells a story like that, even when Donna said about Bonita Springs, I got like so many goosebumps. And then you just said it, and I even felt like the goosebumps here in my face, and I feel them here. So, and this is also a story, I asked for that. It was last year sometimes, when everyone was telling me stories about how they saw Jesus, how God talked to them. And I always had this all-knowing, and I know I act on my all-knowing, and I know I had it, these insights. And I was like, really, I had this one-on-one with God. God, it's like I wish to have like a better confirmation of you being present, that it's really your thoughts, your will, instead of maybe it doesn't come from me, does it come from my own understanding, or is it your understanding? So I was asking for like, I mean, can you just, show up in front of me and show yourself, and or give me like more insights, visions, dreams, or something, do something that I know it's from you. So now every time when something is from God, and it's like really, I get goosebumps. So there was an answer to my prayer. So we literally also have to ask for all knowing.
Yes, to show up.
To show up
and however
in
you
whatever
want it to
way.
show up. Yeah, so for me,
Ask
it's
for the
definitely a
miracle
gut
show.
feeling. Yeah, it's definitely a gut feeling. It's the whole world falls away, and it's I'm going forth alone. And in that moment, I'm going forth alone. And that's when I know that I'll stand there, and God and I and everything else just has to do whatever it's going to do, and it's all going to be good because the trust is just there.
Because it's only between you
Right,
and God.
that's right.
So and the other thing I wanted
Right?
to share today is also, like in the back of my first quarter daily asking journal, I have this list, and I made this list the moment when I, like in the beginning of this year, when it was clear that I'm moving out. So on January 2nd, I did this list here, the whole list. What is my apartment looking like? What are the things I wish to have for my apartment? So this was my list. I wrote like the moment, next day I got my apartment and my car, and I was like now going over it, like checking everything once I received it, and a lot of things were like really divinely inspiredly given, and all these stories. And I always had like 2 things open in the like underneath here. I always had like printer and Wi-Fi. And then I was because in the beginning I was like overthinking it maybe a little bit too much, printer and Wi-Fi, and I was fine to not have it. And then I completely was satisfied with whatever I had already, because all the other things had check marks. It was the thing. So I came into the satisfaction of things. And the moment I was satisfied that I even got like the card for the botanical garden, like across the street from me, there's a botanical garden. For my birthday, I got the entrance ticket. I know I had Wi-Fi there. I can always take my computer. I can go over there. I can drive everywhere with friends and sit and have Wi-Fi. I have Wi-Fi on my, and I have like internet on my phone. Do I really require that? No. So it's complete satisfaction of everything. Printer, I can print every time when I'm somewhere. I can go to Kinko's or whatever. So I forgot about it. Next day, I went and I got Wi-Fi because someone approached me and they got me like such a good deal that I could only say yes. And then last week,
another Miracle Group member, Michael. Yeah. So this is such a great group. I just will remind you.
So then I went. And we were just just to visit, and he has like this nice RV. We're sitting outside. He's like right by the parents. They have horses. They're at the Golden Gate Estates. It was in nature. I felt like on a camping trip, and he made like on the outside propane thing or like electrical stove. Mm-hmm. He did like some dinner for us, and we actually had a beer. And so his girlfriend, me and I sit there, and then the mother comes. And I remember the mother, she came through the Miracle Group so many years ago. Yeah. And then for some reason she's like into other thinking and things. So she kind of felt weird to show up because she thought like she's not there. She doesn't understand it too much. But we had like always a great
Although her son has said she's made huge improvements.
And I always loved her so much. So I was so happy to see her again. So the four of us had like a nice dinner. And then they all looked at me, oh, you never told us what you still require for your apartment. We were asking like 3 times already. And I was like, I'm so good. I have everything. The only 2 things I still require is like I require a printer, and I have like something in mind, like a specific, like the day before I was sitting down, I looked at like all the printer options, and I picked one out already from Best Buy. I already like, oh, it's black, it has this form, it has scan and Wi-Fi, and it can copies, and like in color. So I wrote everything down, and then the mom looks at me, oh yeah, I have 2 of those, you can have 1. So, okay. So what else?
Let me check my list.
Maybe
I missed something.
I just remember the story because I didn't put like the check mark yet, but I can do the check mark
in front of us
because I have my.
She just got it last weekend.
List.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah. So
very nice.
Complete satisfaction, and she
3
even
months,
gave me.
It was perfect timing.
So she even gave me like the herring
toner.
and tomato. Oh yeah, the toner also came with this like extra cartridges. And also she gave me this herring and tomato sauce. And the other day I went to
Only
Aldi's.
my mother and she would buy those, yes. My mother buys those from Costco too.
No, also they had it at Aldi's. However, the last time I went, they only had the other taste, but not the one I wanted, the tomato sauce. And she's like, yeah, no one eats it here, so I give it to you.
And you want it.
I said we're the only ones, the Europeans, will eat that. Sardines and herring in cans, yes.
So and
especially during this time, that's what we stock up on.
I know what they're like. I used to eat them.
So I can really feel, since I have my apartment and have the satisfaction level so much up that I'm just happy every day. Like Skyro, like I always like look at Sky and I was like, oh, she is happy and satisfied every day. She's the best manifesto there is.
Right.
How can we reach that? And then when I just actually stepped into my own satisfaction, it's so much easier. Everything
the
just
word
comes.
is satisfied. I am satisfied. Every hour, say that. And then be satisfied about your last hour. And if you have to tweak something, change something, then change it so that you're more satisfied in this hour.
So I'm singing now the song, I have a lot of satisfaction.
Right. So be satisfied. Do whatever it takes. So life, when you want to get the big things, after you've written them down, like we each just took this moment and wrote 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things down for April so far already. Then the way you get it is to go hour by hour in satisfaction and put yourself doing some activity if going to the post office makes you smile because you can say hello or good morning to those people, then start your morning at the post office and say good morning to those people. If the people that serve you. If going for a walk in the morning is how you get satisfied, waving at your neighbors, then go do that walk. Even if it's 5 minutes, go get satisfied for 5 minutes. So anything that can bring you 5 minutes of satisfaction every hour, different things. So for me, how did I start with this whole thing that's going on in the last 2 weeks? I said, well, I love flowers too. So you know what I did? I went to Home Depot late at night after our financial class. We stayed in our dream. We literally did 7 or 8 financial classes together, Sylvie and I, in different locations. And on the way home, I said, you know what? I'm going to stop at Home Depot and buy a bunch of flowers and some dirt and go to my pots outside and start potting my little flowers and put them all over my lanai. Just have fun with flowers, because that's happiness. So setting everything aside and doing something that's going to make me 100% satisfied, just to smile, like when you look at these and you saw those butts and it made you smile. I saw that
Every
huge
day
smile.
I talk to them. It's
Right.
amazing.
So I said, okay, I'm going to start with something little that can satisfy me. And then from that moment that I got satisfied, then you go to the next little crazy little fun thing, and it's only fun for you, remember?
My
And
world.
go do something in
I
your
say
little
hi
world.
to my orchids every time when I come in my room. I was like, I close my car. Thank you, car, for driving me. I love you so much. And I open I love my little magical container. Hello, orchids. I missed you so much. Hello, my pet who talk
You
about that is
sound like me.
perfect.
Right.
No, I literally. I mean, I'm like.
But then you're high.
Right, and so for me,
You're
the
high on
second
life,
thing
you're like a
is,
little kid.
that's right.
You're
So then
living in
find one
gratitude.
other thing the next day that's going to make you really satisfied the next day. So for me, it's like having the handyman come over and fix stuff that I broke, you know? That makes me really satisfied when somebody comes behind me. It's like, okay, the fan blade's missing because, you know, you wiped it and it broke. Okay, so it's like, could you please put a new fan blade? Yes. You could do that for me. Oh, I'm so excited. It's whole again. You know, it just makes me so happy. And then like the dog, with their paws knocked 2 little things off my desk, little decoration things that were nailed onto the desk. I'm like, could you nail these back on? Sure. Thank you. Because
so
all of a sudden I'm
great.
walking around with these 2 pieces. You put them in this drawer, then you move them in that counter, then you're like, could you nail these back
rug
on?
this week. Did you notice?
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Palm tree.
A new rug, yes. Okay, so see? So what is it?
Free.
What little thing,
Free.
little fun, satisfying thing?
Manifested it.
Yeah.
Really? Friend brought it over.
There you go. So so get a new rug, whatever little thing that you can do, it's only going to make you happy, right? My fan blade, 0 people are going to be concerned about it. For me, it made me happy to have it repaired, and then the other one, the motor was burned out. So out of my 3 outdoor fans, now they all work. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, the little latch that I'd have to go twice with at the door, go click, click to open it. I said, I'd like it to just open on one, and you replace that latch. So now in one, I can open my door instead of click, click to open the door. So see, isn't it crazy? Satisfaction.
And then
Anything that's going to make you happy.
The world wants to do it for you.
And the
Yes, call
gratitude
it
goes
in.
right to God. It's like when JJ says, like, I manifested it, and it's God delivering it. It's 0. A friend came by and dropped it, and she doesn't want it. It's not the backstory about it. It's like, and it's not like where the printer comes from, actually. It's like, the first thing I said, like, oh, I manifested a printer. That's the truth.
From God.
From
Yeah.
God. I manifested Wi-Fi from God. I manifested this apartment, and it was definitely from God, because there was a guy in church approaching me, offering me the place. It was God showing me the car I was supposed to have, because the sign was jumping on me the moment I drove by, and I was like, oh yeah, let's stop on the way back. Even if I have another appointment, let's stop at this dealership. And 0 did I know that I will walk out with this one car, and that I actually find it more pretty than all the other cars I later looked at. So it comes all from
And
the storehouse, the abundant storehouse.
And it's interesting because this is something about our thoughts. Let's just, for a moment, offer this up. We think that maybe we're thinking the thought. The idea is, okay, there could be a gazillion thoughts, so guess what? It just is. So we're hearing the thought. We're hearing the grand thought that is just right for us.
And that's why we can actually sort through them.
So how about we lay down the illusion that we're thinking the thought and pick up the truth that the thought is already there and we're hearing the thought. We're hearing all the thoughts that are right for us. And so you know how we like to go, oh, maybe that was somebody else. Maybe they're not, oh, maybe that was it's all just perfect. And we're here to hear it versus, this is so interesting, the illusion, because only whenever there's a versus, it's an illusion. Us thinking the thought.
Ooh, when there's a versus, it's an illusion.
It's an illusion, correct, because there's only oneness.
Oh.
And we know that only.
So if there ever is, I don't know if it's this or that, you're in illusion. There's only perfection. Your first thought is the right thought. And just like when she went and had that dinner and decided to enjoy herself in satisfaction, they had a nice dinner, she was telling you that, right? And when she started getting more and more satisfied in that moment, more and more satisfaction was handed to her in that very hour. So be confident that every thought coming in your special brain is a thought that is right because it's part of collective consciousness, oneness, the truth that is right for you in this very moment, and that is the only possibility of your brain bringing that thought in. Zero possibility of you thinking the thought. You are receiving the thought.
Okay.
So stop doubting it.
You are receiving the
and
perfect
you
thought.
accept
Accept it because the only possibility is you're a receiver. We're transmitters, but really receivers. Okay, so this earth is a receptor site. This whole earth is, when I was in Australia, we were out in the outback, right? And it was so wonderful because they had all these huge spider-like pieces of equipment, as big as this table. And there are all these big, like white spider-like pieces of equipment. And I'm like, what are all those out in the outback? They are receptor sites measuring how much information is coming from God, from heaven, all day and night long. And they're vibrating and feeling all this pulse that is being rained down on us. It's the truth.
Wow.
And we're the receptors. We are these little beautiful spiders. We are these devices hearing, receiving. We're receivers. And when we get the truth and receive it, guess what then? We can flow it through us and push it back out and use it as strong vibrational field. So you're right, JJ. Remove that illusion of doubt immediately. Every thought is the right thought.
Be high on life. I like that, what you said earlier. Be high on life.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
It seems that we've talked a lot about manifesting things that we need. Okay, manifest a rug, manifest a printer. What about if it's about relationships?
Same thing.
Manifest
Be satisfied with where you are right now. She manifested a relationship when she was calm. Remember how it all starts. It starts where you're satisfied and calm.
And you give it everything to God to deliver.
Remember that the most stories, when you ask someone, how did you meet this one person? And they all tell you almost exactly the same story. It's like, oh yeah, I wasn't looking. Or it's like, I was so happy with myself. I was so satisfied in my own self. And then the person showed up. So now I get goosebumps again because it's like complete truth.
Uh-huh.
So, and then it just adds to it. It's like zero.
Yeah.
So
When
like
you're
we have
calm,
this level of
at peace,
satisfaction.
that's one of the 9 steps there, is to exhale, I say. That's getting calm. Just exhale. Relax.
And when we are so
Yeah.
happy with ourselves and we already match the vibration of love, if we love ourselves so much, and then we don't even have to decide, and then you can decide if you accept this person in your life. So that's why I had this conversation with JJ the other day. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm such a strong manifester. I'm like afraid to like even write down like such a thing, because right now I know I'm zero in the place that I wish to deal with someone else, because I want to enjoy this time I have with me, and me, myself, and I, my little container in my car and whatever I got here with my. So then so I can just completely be calm about it, and whenever I feel ready, I can add to that list.
And
New
what did
page.
JJ
She'll
say?
turn the page and start
What did
writing.
JJ say?
I have to look it up again. You
Get
said what?
satisfied with yourself and enjoy it. And when it's the right time is, he'll show up, and then you decide if that's right for you. But right now, you said it.
Zero,
You
huh?
declared it.
Yeah.
I want this time for
For
myself.
myself.
She actually declared it. She said
Well,
it to me.
and Skyler
I'm
did
really
this too for a
enjoying-
while. You
then
did it
keep
for a couple
enjoying
years.
It. And when you
I
stop
do.
enjoying
Yeah,
it, and you
relationship?
really feel like
Satisfied
now
with
I'm
yourself.
then he'll show up.
You were quite entertained with your school for like a year, and then you were quite entertained with getting all the licensing for like a year and getting your job downtown and all that. So for
You were still married and we
busy.
didn't even know about.
You were busy.
she was
busy.
she was very
funniest thing ever.
focused and very content. Right. I'm just saying it was really, you were very content and very focused.
There were a lot of things happening in her life actually at that
Oh,
time.
yeah.
So she didn't have space for somebody to come in even at that moment. Because there were so
Are we talking about
much-
Sky?
Yeah.
When
She was married and everything.
And I wasn't
Yeah.
ready.
she wasn't ready, but she
I
also
knew
had
in
so
my
much
heart I
going
wasn't
on.
ready.
Yeah.
You were married?
She wasn't ready.
Yeah, but she was that too. She forgot about that. Because she was so calm and in the moment. That was just, none of us even knew. We're with her all the time.
It's like the fun thing, like this, like, you will laugh so much, like if you know over the years this group, I mean all the stories that happen.
And you're like, excuse me, what? Where have I been? Right here.
Standing in her kitchen, and Wilma comes in. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm married, and she just married we had before. You were dating? Where did all of this? Usually, you know, from your friends, you know, like, oh, they met someone, they go on a date, and then, oh, like, they move in together.
Well, we married first and then we'll go on the date.
Exactly. So she came in like, oh, by the way, I married last weekend. Congratulations.
Right.
That was so funny, right?
So Skyler did a bigger one.
And she was, I mean, Sky did
So
that too,
Yatsik, who's part of the group, says, okay, I'm going to get a divorce. So he came over, so we're like, okay, let's plan it. I'll help you, just like we did here. I'll be the second energy. Let's just make this now decide it's happening tomorrow or 3 days from now, or we're doing this. You're getting the divorce. The paper's going to be signed. And then Skyler says, well, maybe I should do that too. Or like...
And then when I came over to Sky, and Yatsik, the first thing they told me, oh, and by the way, like, Sky was telling me, by the way, my divorce is on the same day as his divorce. And I was like, you married? I mean, just a miracle of that is on the same day, they told me, you know, like, what? One step back here.
What happened? When? How? Who?
That was fun.
I don't even know who you're married to after all these years of knowing you. So it's done now, so that's fine.
Now we
That's
know.
yesterday's news. Thrown away.
So today she's dating Yatsik.
That's all we know.
And one day she would just say, oh yeah, we're married or something, or I'm pregnant, or whatever comes next.
Whatever she creates.
How did that happen?
Every time is a good time.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we feel the connection when we realize a new idea or a divine inspiration. So we're connected every time we're satisfied with a new exciting idea that just pops into our head, because that is a governed idea sent to us as a receiver, as the perfect receiver straight from heaven.
Can you read that again? That's
Yep.
beautiful.
So we feel the connection to God every time a new idea or of a divine inspiration is received by us. Every time. That's when we're connected. So when you first wake up and something just pops into your head, that is directly a download. Take heed to it, write it down, pray over it, sing about it. As weird as it is or as unusual as it is, just say, wow, okay. I'll just make a note of that, and I'll trust that it'll be revealed.
And we are still in chapter 6 from Feel the Connection. It's the chapter from Connect to the Light.
On page 98.
98.
Yep. Okay, goosebumps. Sylvie took care of that one. Explained the thrilling sensations of hair standing up on. Some of us, our hair kind of stands up, and we say, "Ooh, something's happening here energetically."
For me.
A whisper
Actually, I can
or a
do those
voice
too.
talking. Okay, so if you some people say the whisper of God, or sometimes we turn around and it's as if somebody was whispering or talking to you. You look around and yet it seems like there, and sometimes the physical angel or person is there, and when you turn back around to thank them, they're gone. They might have been helping you at the ticket counter, at the airport or something, and you're getting you're turning around to grab your bag, you turn back around and the person who helped you is completely gone, and you're looking around and you're saying, excuse me?
Yeah, that's happened.
They might be in civilian clothes, even though they're behind a counter helping you, and then you start thinking, everybody else has a uniform, the person who just helped me had civilian clothes on and they're gone. Although everything was exactly as planned and it turned out. So
There was somebody whose car was on fire and her children were in the back seat, and somebody helped get those babies out. And she had a truck had hit a number of cars at a construction site. He didn't notice everybody had stopped, and he just plowed into everyone. And she somehow found out who the people were around her. They have the same insurance company, and she asked them. She said, "Did you see that man that got the babies out of my car that was on fire?" And nobody saw it.
yep. Right.
Yeah.
So those are understanding that we do have these angels that can be in human form in that moment, helping us. You might be on the level of the only one who can see them, and so you can just speak the gratitude out because they did. Let's talk about go back into spirit form instantly when their moment is done here. So a sense of belonging can be another thing. When we are in this miracle group and we have a very big sense of belonging, and the beautiful thing is this table's part of that. Carmen was over today. Sylvie got a printer from that belonging. It's so amazing that we have this sense of belonging. So that sense of belonging is absolutely that's a gut feeling. That is a direct from God. Skyder and I and JJ, we just share how thankful we are all the time. And Sylvie and I were talking about this. We must have been in a few lifetimes before together because we obviously came in to do this again. It's what it is. So a feeling of calm, that's that the world falls away. That's definitely you're connected when you're just calm. A change in the atmosphere. All of a sudden you might feel a wind or a breeze, or it gets really
Or
hot
sometimes
for
you
a
have
moment.
that in church when you start praising and worshiping, then you can really feel how the atmosphere changes, like in the whole congregation and the whole church.
About this, I want to say just a little thing that I don't remember if I told you. There was in Lithuania, there's some special tree that I always was attached to for some reason that I didn't know at the time, and I was like, every time I'm in Lithuania, I have such a drawing to this tree that I cannot tell why. And so, and one of those times as always, I went to see the tree. There's no houses anymore, just this tree standing
still there.
That's it. So then I was sitting next to the tree, and then kind of talking to myself, and I said, what is it about you? I mean, I would ask the God, to show me something. And I was talking, and as I'm talking, I started hearing leaves shake, like, and I tilt my head, and I see leaves shake this only above me. All trees still, and just here above me. I was like, that's weird. And I said, is that a sign or something, or something is there? And I keep on talking, and I see wind is everywhere, but my tree is still as a rock. And again, I say something, I ask the question, and the leaves go. I got the goosebumps when I was like, oh my
That's
God.
right.
And
Yeah. So those are the spirits. We are spirit, and we came into this world and became this for a reason, to do a mission, to do a pleasure for us, to do a goodness, to do our heart's content. And when we understand that spirit is spirit, we're always going to be in spirit form. And then once in a while, we come into this flesh body just to be. It's amazing. It truly is amazing that when we're here, that somehow we forgot about all that spirit world that's the thin air. It's all full of wonder, and it's with us all the time.
Yeah, I wonder if you had taken a picture,
You
they
might have
probably
seen something.
seen some kind
Lights
of form,
or some
because like a
form.
lot of people when they take pictures and they look at them, it's like, oh my gosh, that was there, like the light orbs or
The
like
orbs.
little
Yeah,
little.
yeah, so many pictures of the light orbs. And remember the light waves with the Theta
Or
Healing
even
class?
the nature beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nature beings, she takes pictures and she sees like, or like the cloud picture where the eyes of God were like then in a
Yeah,
cloud,
right
like
there.
really human eyes.
Yeah.
So you will see like even more like taking a picture. If you have like the sense of an energy, sometimes it helps to just take a picture and then look at it and it's like,
I shared that with the Miracle Group, and maybe you remember that, Skydra. I have a girlfriend in North Carolina, and she went to Fatima in Brazil, where I believe it's Brazil, where the lady saw the young girls, 2 girls and a boy. They saw like the Jesus. Or Mother Mary, it's
Like an apparition.
An apparition, and so they wrote about it, and she became a nun, and now she's passed away though. Fatima,
Yes.
whatever it is,
I think it's
however you
Portugal
pronounce
or
it.
something.
It's Portugal. That's
Portugal,
correct.
yes.
You're
Thank
correct. And so my girlfriend actually is a herbalist, and she went to a client to help him in North Carolina, right by my house. And he had a little picture of him being, and she says, oh, isn't that, where, oh yeah, we went and traveled there. We were so happy. We took a Polaroid picture of it. She said, oh, can I scan that in? Because it's my favorite. She's a Catholic woman. And she said, oh, I love Mother Mary and all this. So can I scan? So she scanned it in her computer. And then, it's just a Polaroid, literally one of the old Polaroids that developed right away. And when she scanned it on her computer and she blew it up, it was there. The big, and I
Jesus
passed it
or
out. It was
something.
Jesus.
It
It's
was
Jesus or
Jesus?
Mary or whatever you want to
Yeah.
believe. It looks. So I passed it out in Miracle Group years ago. Maybe this was 4 years ago. Do you remember the picture? I always had it on my outside of my white book.
it was a greenish.
It's kind of a greenish picture, and I'll bring it back if anybody'd like to see it. So when she scanned it on her computer and blew it up, there it is, just the exact like the original picture.
Wow.
And that was just from a Polaroid. And she said, I didn't see it on the Polaroid until I blew it up and
And she
spread
said
it.
every time she looks at the picture, it
changes.
because there's she sees like treasure map on there. Sometimes we were talking about finding treasures, so
And
she
then
was
she
looking at this picture
sees the
again,
dog,
and
and
then
then
she
she
sees
sees
exactly
this.
like where outside of a coast the treasure might be hidden, or like crosses and things like that. There's
And
a
she
lot
says
of,
that picture changes every single day that she keeps looking at it. And it's true, because we all know that our perspective changes because it's new every moment. It just is so fun. So there are beings. When you see that, and you say that is a Polaroid that somebody went on a trip, took of the bush all these years later, and there it is. The same Jesus angel is still there.
Amazing.
Your tree.
spirit, yeah.
Living in the tree, or beyond the tree, where you're not
There's
saying in the
definitely
tree.
some.
Actually, I did a breathing afterwards specifically on that tree, and actually I found out that there was a spirit in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did breathing and I let the spirit go, which we were connected in the past, and so I saw actually this tree kind of like opening and the spirit just leaving.
Yeah.
Kind of. And after this, that's it. It's been, I don't know, 2 years now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Never had any kind of feelings about this tree. It's all like gone.
Yeah. So it's so beautiful when you see all these pictures, like my girlfriend going over the bridge with the God eyes in the clouds, and then the Fatima. The amount of spirits that are out right here in this room with us is amazing. We're just part of the physical audience. The spirit audience that's in this room with us is huge.
Yeah, Karen always shows a picture that everyone actually has this light above them.
These
Oh,
these
light.
pillars, these
Yeah,
pillars
yeah,
of light
yeah.
Yeah.
all
That is
around us,
direct
light
connection,
beings.
Yeah.
And two, when you look at the sun, when the sun sets, well, when the earth rotates and it looks as if the sun is going, and we are no longer seeing the sun in that moment, there are orbs. If you stare at the sun a bit with your sunglasses
Or take
on,
pictures.
oh my gosh, there's orbs all over
Oh,
around
really?
that sun.
Oh.
Yeah, all over.
And the other fun thing about that, what we saw the other day, it's like actually everyone has a direct connection to the sun. Like the light you see in the ocean,
Kind of
it's
looks
like
like there's
always
a
directly to you.
yeah. And if you're
Wherever
over there,
you
it's
are.
directly to you over there. And if it's
Yeah.
right there,
Always to
so
the
the light
connection
is
is
right
always
connected
to
to
you.
you. Hello! Trick or treat.
How did you get here?
Give me your watch and your wallet.
He was on a plane.
And your lotto ticket.
Yeah. All right, so feeling calm, a change in the atmosphere and behavior and words coming through us as we wonder how and why. All right, so sometimes when a goofy behavior comes about you or words that come through and you just say, wow, that phrase I haven't used in 10 years or that thought hasn't come to me. Bonita Springs in 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, like you said.
Ron Wyatt, the guy who discovered like all the like the Ark of the Covenant, and he discovered the Ark, and then the Noah's Ark, and then he discovered where the Red Sea crossing was. So he's always like, he went down and then his arms put out like the Ark of the Covenant is in Jeremiah's grotto.
He's like, what is Jeremiah's grotto? Why did I just say that?
And where am I pointing here? And so he
So he
discovered
paid
like all
attention.
of these things just because the Spirit came through him.
Right. So he said, God, why am one man discovered everything that people can't find it? I found it all, just me. And he said, well, you're the only one looking
So that's amazing.
for everything,
YouTube
for
videos
everything.
about
He's
that.
looking for everything.
What is his name?
Ron
Ron Wyatt. Look at all the videos. Ron Wyatt. Wyatt.
And it's like it gives
Oh
you
my
goosebumps.
gosh.
I mean,
and
it gave me
what's
so many
even
goosebumps.
more amazing is when I was in Israel, I said to God, God, what should I be watching, seeing, touching, feeling? What's supposed to happen right now? Guide me, I'm wide open. And he said, listen to Ron Wyatt's videos. I'm like, who's Ron Wyatt? That's me. Ron Wyatt. And so
W-Y-A-T-T.
Wyatt, W-Y-A-T-T, yes.
Yeah.
And he's a nurse anesthetician. He's passed away just recently, though he found all these things and God just kept leading him. And so I had just been to Egypt. I had just been to King Tut's grave, and so the wheels, I just had seen what the real wagon wheels looked like from Egypt, right? And he's showing them at the bottom of the ocean. And we know that there would be debris from the crossing of the Egyptians, because they were swiped away and covered with the ocean after. So it was so fun to see. Of course there would be debris yet. There would have to be something. So then I watched every single thing on it. And it was so great because there's this tunnel there the Palestinians use. And I kind of, let's get this little door at a guy asking for $5 and you wouldn't even think anything to go in there. And because I watched Ron Wyatt, he said, that's the cave of the Ark of the Covenant's in. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend the $5 to the Palestinian. I'm going to go in and look, because it was where all the stone was quarried from. Now, God was so faithful that the night or 2 nights before, he showed me the Ron Wyatt videos, or maybe 3 nights before, right when I got to Jerusalem, so that while I was in Jerusalem, I could go into Hezekiah's cave and see where the Ark of the Covenant was, even though it's buried currently. Energetically, I could be there, and I saw the whole story and could see what that man saw. And then when I went and I could see the Golgotha, that it said Golgotha, the skull, I could see, even though it's eroding, where he was shown that the cross was actually sitting.
Yeah,
where the
they had
blood
3
fell
markings.
through.
And the Ark of the Covenant was right underneath the cross. That's when the earth trembled and the blood and the water came out of Jesus' side when he was pierced. It dripped right
onto
the Ark.
the mercy seat.
Yeah.
The Ark of the Covenant, and I have total goosebumps.
Me too.
The Ark of the Covenant was always set up. It's a big box, a gold covered with gold box, and it had 2 sets of angel wings touching each other. And on that box, when they would do sacrifices every year, they would put it on one side, and the left side was left free
For the
the ultimate blood of the sacrifice. Jesus being the ultimate. So when everything was taken from the temple to Babylon, in the Bible it lists everything that was taken. The Ark of the Covenant was not listed in the Bible being stolen and taken to Babylon when Babylon took over. So that means that there's a chance that it never left Jerusalem, right? Never left Jerusalem. Though, where would they take it? Where would it hide? Well, when they made all the marble to make the big square in Jerusalem, it was quarried right below it. So there's this huge quarry literally right below the entire temple in Jerusalem in the courtyard, because all the marble came from there, all the stone. So that the leader would have, the head rabbi would have gone down with the Ark of the Covenant and had it buried and hidden so it wouldn't be taken away to Babylon.
So God told him exactly
Where it was.
where to position it, that by the time 600 years later, when Jesus was crucified, his blood dripped exactly on the other side of the ark. And then they
On the
took
left
samples.
seat.
They took samples from the blood. And when he returned, like, to the lab, they said, like,
2,000 years old, we can't do anything
yeah, so
for you. And he
there's,
said
like,
it's
this
living
dead
blood.
Chromosome
Christ
testing
is alive.
can only be done on on a live
living blood.
It's like, it's okay. God told me to put it in saline solution for 3 days and then do the test.
All right.
So then they did the
And
test.
Jesus has living blood. That's
And
why
they
we
did
were
the-
healed and are healed from 2,000 years ago.
So then
That's
he did the
proof.
test, and it came out that it had 23 chromosomes, the blood, and he's plus one for the
Make it a
gender.
male.
It was one male for the gender because Jesus was male here on earth. And when the guy, they didn't know where this blood was from, and when the guy said,
In Israel, he had it
this
tested.
is zero possibility that there is something that there's zero human that has 23 plus 1 chromosomes. We have double than that, you know. So that can also, he made a joke, it can only be from Jesus. Oh yeah, exactly, that's from Jesus.
Because there was no father,
Yeah.
only mother.
Oh.
So there was no pairs.
So there
was
was
just
just one God
blank,
chromosome
empty.
that made it
Oh,
male.
interesting.
All empty chromosomes. Watching for a pair of a human, another male
So
human.
there was only the mother giving all the features.
Okay.
Right. And so Israel has all these records. It had all these records. They chose
And you
not
can
to
watch it
show
on
it
YouTube, it's open.
because could you imagine? I mean, it's the Ark of the Dome is Palestinian. They're sharing that platform in Jerusalem.
And the other fun thing about this whole story, even, he took pictures, and from this whole film he took, there was pictures before from another project, and then these pictures. So they developed the firmer pictures, but all of the pictures from the Ark, there was zero development because until today, God doesn't want anyone to see it. He only allowed this Ron Wyatt to see it, and he just said to, okay, like, let's draw it. That was the only possibility. And when the Israelis sent like 6 people in to look at them, they all died.
Because the truth is, nobody can look upon the Ark of the Covenant. That's what it was all about. You have to be a Levite. You have to be of the tribe of Levi. And
high
chosen
priest.
a high priest. You have to be a high priest.
So only this one person was like able to look at it.
Right. And so they called Ron
Bring the-
Wyatt, and he went in and pulled the dead bodies out because he's the only one who lived.
Is he also a Levite and a high priest, or was he just
He must-
There
vibrationally
must
a
be
He
fem-
must be, or
Some-
vibrationally he's a
past-
Levite, yeah.
or past lifetime he had. Yeah.
Most likely. Maybe
Most
he
likely,
was-
because how can one man... So this same man is
He
the
was
one who
probably
found
Jeremiah.
Noah's Ark. He found the crossing of the Red Sea. He found
Mount
the real
Sinai.
Mount Sinai. One man. I watched every little thing because all of a sudden I'm like, God,
Is this on
really?
YouTube?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's everything on YouTube. Oh my God.
I watched every single thing and then I had to go in the tunnel because I was right there, so I could go and I can do exactly what he did and go see it for my own eyes. And I went and saw it all. I happened to be, God happened me in happening. He put me right there to do it in real time.
But I mean, the Ark is still like in this part where it's concealed. Now they know that's like.
Though I went to see where it was concealed, I could see I see exactly where he said it is, with all the stones there, and that people
So it's
can't
like,
walk
oh my gosh,
right
the
there.
Ark is right behind this wall or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's all that little stone, all the rubble. And remember, God was so good. I told you the story about taking all of our prayers there, right? And I said, God, you have to preserve these. And then he did the cherry picker that minute and preserved all our prayers. So I just knew God was so with me every single step. And what I want to do, I actually did record the Sea of Galilee for us all to do a meditation to. The sound of the Sea of Galilee, where all the miracles were performed with Jesus. So I sat there and I recorded it on my phone there so we can all sit and just listen to the Sea of Galilee. Because in it has obviously the sounds of wonder. Yeah, it's totally, so when we're a miracle group, it's that our minds are miraculously open. That's the only difference between us and every other human in here. We're all one. It's that we are choosing to listen to the voice of God. We're choosing, like Ron Wyatt, to say, send us, God. We're choosing to say, we know we have a miraculous life here, and we're going to use more and more. And that is why I know every time you see me, you're like, oh, I've got to write something else and ask for something else. Carice's coming over. The idea with that is, isn't it great that when Sylvia asked for 30 things, she has 30 check marks? That's encouraging. And Donna, you're saying, does it work with relationships? It works with whatever's on your list. Ron Wyatt would prefer to find the Ark of the Covenant and, Noah's Ark. And so whatever, that was his list. His list was those things. My list is different. Your list is different. For us, it's getting the word out. So the list for Receive Joy really is that we understand that the power lies in the word. Always remember this. Always remember this. Be very thankful that we're the first group that's meeting, really understanding, above Florence Shin, above Louise Hay, above Wayne Dyer's understanding. We are here right now revealed that every word counts. So when we say doesn't matter, we say all is matter.
Interesting.
Right? The whole world says it doesn't matter. We've heard that so many times. And we say everything is matter. Our word changes matter. We perfect our word, we perfect matter. And it might possibly be only the miracle group that gets this right now in 2020, and that's enough. If one of us can get this, and if we're a tag team right here, and Oscar can hold the space for 10 minutes a day, and then JJ can hold it 10 minutes, and James Stephen can hold it, and I can hold it for 10 minutes, and Sylvia, and then next hour you do it 10 minutes again, and 5 minutes again, and 3 minutes again, and 2 minutes again, and even if we can just do that 5, 6, 7 times a day, get satisfied, and declare it. I am so satisfied with this plant. I am so satisfied with this laptop. I am so satisfied with my relationship. I'm so satisfied with myself. I'm so satisfied with my Creator. I take my healing. I'm so satisfied with my nation. I'm so satisfied with my leaders. I'm so satisfied. So if each of us can say that 100 times, be satisfied with anything that truly is satisfying to you. My watch, my bracelet, I'm totally satisfied. Oscar gets to see the bent spoon. We bent the spoon with our mind.
We're gonna do this together.
Yeah. I'm so satisfied, and remember I have my emerald bracelet.
Yes.
So remember God gave me the emerald bracelet from Emerald Isle. So the other day I was walking on the beach just this week here in Naples, and I'm walking on the beach here, and I'm holding this up, and I said, you know what, God? I've yet to see the green flash thing. So do you know how emerald green this is?
Yes.
It might be nice. I was talking to God. I'm holding this in the sun and say, yeah, it might be nice to have a little green on that sun today, or nothing, or pink, or purple, or I'm satisfied, it's all good, or just a walk, or beach, or sunshine, it's all perfect. Although the green, emerald green color would be very nice. It would make me even more satisfied. I like that little emerald green color. By the end, it was so interesting because the sun went down, and there was green sitting there, just green sitting there, just green sitting there. And my husband and I are walking, I'm like, that's very green, right? Sunglasses, no sunglasses, that's a lot of green. Wasn't just a flash, it was an emerald
Green.
sitting there.
You asked and you received.
Immediately. Because it's always immediate. And when we can, it's okay, I'm calm, it's fun. This year, next year, pink, purple, elephants, unicorns, it's all the same to me. It's great, I'm satisfied. And when I just, kind of gave a little, green color would be nice, just like that, a little emerald green. You remember your throne room's got emerald green, God, like to have a little emerald green going on here. It was amazing, just play. Play. And it was interesting when we did the spoon, right? Because the first thing I was looking for was the cheapest thing in my house. And then I went and got the silver, the real thing. I said, give me the most expensive thing. Because if I'm going to do something with my mind, I want to do the biggest thing I can. Get the stiffest thing, the strongest thing. So I said, it's okay, I'm going to go find the real thing. And then I'm going to do that. So even play with your own thoughts and say, am I doing it with the biggest bang, or am I just being average?
And it was so funny because we shared our experiences in the workshop after, and there was one guy saying, "Oh yeah, I followed you with my mind. However, I refrained from bending something."
Yeah, because I might damage one of my spoons of the set.
Oh my God.
So
you
now,
know, we have the variety in the world that some people go for I do it completely the best I can, versus, oh yeah, you know, like, I'm holding the vibration here, like, for you guys. And it's all good. It's all perfect.
right.
So what do you choose for your life, for your creation in this moment?
Yeah.
The basis is knowing it's all perfect.
Yes, it's already
begin
here.
And we just have to
declare your
declare what we
satisfaction.
wish to experience.
Yes.
And
Because
it's
the field
good.
is constantly
This one is
replenishing.
good, this one is good, the middle one is good, everything is for
all
wherever
perfect.
you are in this moment. Be satisfied with that.
Uh-huh.
So there's zero, like the J word, when you do like some opinion about someone else. It's like, you know, my mind went to like, how can someone do this in this way, and how can someone do it in this way? And then I had to stop myself. It's like, really, it's okay. Because for this person it worked this way, and for this other person it completely worked in the other way.
So the Bible verse is, surely the Lord is in this place, and I have yet to be aware of it.
Which,
So now what's so amazing is for us to start saying, am I truly aware of it every hour? How do I get aware of it? Number one, I declare my satisfaction. The second thing is I declare an asking every hour. Some little asking, a green flash, a spoon, some asking, so that we are in play. We keep ourselves in play, right? Versus just, I'm driving here, I'm just coming home here, right? Throw out a new asking. Throw out another asking. Throw out another asking, and then play with it. It can be purple, it can be pink. It'd be nice. I really like it like that. No would be good, but good would be. Yes would be good. So start playing. When you play, you are part of that energy field. Play with it. Play with it. Move it around. Talk to it. Sing to it. Dance with it a little bit. So I had like a 5-minute conversation with the sun and God, saying, would be nice. Would be nice. It would make me even more satisfied. But I am satisfied right now. It would make me even more satisfied. Yeah. And just playing, you know, beautiful Naples, it's all good. Everything's happy, everything's healthy. We can do more and more. So stay in your satisfaction, stay in your joy. And that's what we're going to go forth and do for 2 weeks, all of us. And then let's talk about, as we keep declaring our satisfaction, how much more just pops in.
Well, if you say, I am grateful for, that's like saying I'm satisfied.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
It's the same vibration.
Though let's use, for fun, the word I'm satisfied for these 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Satisfied
Abraham
with all my
and Abraham
relations.
Hicks, she uses that exact word, the word satisfied.
Well, every
All right.
morning I take this and I write 2 pages I'm grateful for.
All right. So for these days,
Say,
right, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied and willing to accept more of this. So as we really feel, and then do things in your life that make you happy. Little things. So when you have a stack this big of your, let's say, to-do list, we're just going to use that as an example for a moment, even though I'd just say your satisfaction list or your achievement list. Say, I'm going to start with the thing that I'm going to just get the most satisfaction out of. What on this whole list is going to make me the happiest? Or if there's nothing, then I'm going to do something that makes me happy, and then I'll do something on the list. Something that makes me a little happy, something on the list. Something that makes me happy, something on the list.
And also, like, the really powerful words, it's like, I allow myself. I allow myself to be happy. I allow myself to call this in. I allow myself to receive. That changes a lot. This like just the switch of the mind that goes from
I have to
I have
versus
to,
I allow myself.
And I allow myself to do my things on my list.
Yeah. And then I allow it in joy, as you're saying, with gratitude. So let's just live in that satisfaction and see what comes up in till our next meeting.
And that is also the great, just real quick, instead of casting like something that is called like blame on someone, I allowed myself to feel the feeling of that I'm less than satisfied in this. So how can I change that into I allow it to feel myself to feel this for this moment, and now I allow myself
something better.
to feel better, to feel a higher vibration.
So what am I now going to allow for more satisfaction?
So use these words, satisfied and allowing, and I tried it out the last month. It's miracles after miracle after miracle. Even like, I was so happy with, like I always thought like, oh, I wish to have an assistant helping me, like, or some people helping me with some sort of stuff. And it always, somehow I didn't allow myself to have that because it always something else came up. So the moment now I am allowing myself, I'm so happy to do it myself. Even 2 people came up from the past. Oh yeah, I'm doing this for you this week. I'm doing this for you this week. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like even more happy in this moment. I was like, oh, thank you, Lord, someone's helping me. Mm-hmm. The moment I got so satisfied with, it's okay if I do it by myself and alone.
Mm-hmm. I'm already satisfied.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we're using that word. So because Abraham Hicks used that as an inspirational word that was channeled, let's just use that exact word. So they say that what we call it, so this is the exact thing Abraham channeled says. You call it, I'm out to give some good, it makes me feel good. We call it satisfied. I'm out to change the world. We call it you're being satisfied. You say, I'm out to so feel good, change things. I'm out to allow things. We call it you're satisfied. So every word we use, Spirit calls it you're satisfied.
Oh, okay.
You came here, you say to give to others. We say to be satisfied. So in Abraham Hicks' world, she keeps saying, there's one word they use, you're satisfied. You're come to be satisfied. You want to try that to be satisfied. You're going to change this up to be satisfied. You're going to do it with another friend to be satisfied.
And remember this getting ready to be ready to be ready. So what you have to be in every step of this getting ready, you have to be satisfied to have the next step going.
Yes. So when you declare your satisfaction with level 1 experience, then you'll get to level 2 experience. When you declare your satisfaction with level 2 experience, you get to level 3 experience. It was kind of as if we were working with your shoulder, right? So you declared satisfaction when you held the bag of apples up. Level 1 experience, right? Then you came back, we had a level 2 experience. You declared more satisfaction.
Exactly.
And then the third time you declared a little more satisfaction. And then you were able to totally accept the healing. Level 4 experience. It started with a level 1 experience. So they also say, watch how far you decide to jump. So because we're human nature, we kind of need a level 1, then a level 2, then a level 3 experience, then a level 4. So when we want to win the $150 million lottery, right? Sometimes you might have to win 10 million first. Go from a level 1 to a level, right? The dime, remember we found the dime.
Let's do that first.
Okay? And then from that we might need to do the next step. Okay? I'm just bringing,
Right.
So what she's found is that because we came and we have like a systematic beingness here, we tend to like that. Sometimes have a level 1 experience, then a level 2, level 3, and identify that. So these plants were a level 1 experience. It was just a fun moment. Now you can take it and you got the table, the rug, and all the house furnished, right? So the plants were level 1, then you moved your game up to level 2 experience, right? And then level 3, you got your husband here and you got, all this wonder here. This is now a level 3 experience.
That was a declaration, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, a second.
Oh, okay. So the whole idea is, you see, and now that level 3 experience, you went to start working on a level 4 experience, right? You sold the car, you released now and got things done in the house to remove that because you're ready for a level 4 experience. Then you're going to be ready for the level 5, right? Mm-hmm. So do you see how it's fun as it's going through, right? And we're going and moving it one level at a time. That's human nature. So we came here to have that much contrast that we could actually experience all levels of the game.
Yeah, live
It's like video games, right? You pass this, and then you get to the next level. You pass that, then you get to the next level, and then you go to the next, right? So that's kind of what we're here for. And then sometimes we back down to level 1 experience. quickly, then level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5.
And it's
You can do it
okay if
quicker.
some people only play with level 1.
Yes.
It's okay.
Not if they know Sylvie.
And so, isn't it great that a lot of people have come here just to have a bunch of level 1 experiences? And we all know those people. In this group, we're kind of like, oh, when their phone, the number comes up on your phone, you're like, I'm take 10 deep breaths, and then I'm going to call them back. Yeah, after 10 deep breaths
And
or
then
tomorrow.
praying over them and totally praying. Okay, the outcome of this phone call will be writing down like
Yes.
a whole page.
And those
Okay,
people
now I'm
always
ready.
have something going upside down in their life. And they're on to their next level 1 experience. 10 years later, they're still on level 1 experience, having another level 1 experience, having another level 1 experience. And it's all perfect. That subverted their contrast. They came in to just experience every level 1 experience that a human can have. And I have a girlfriend that literally, I was just on the phone with her, and she will always be having a level 1 experience in this lifetime. And I can just laugh with her and cheer with her and,
And she's
send her
happy.
a $20 gift card and
She's
and you have to trust that your blessing and your friendship is what they are in their level 1 experience, and they're having all this, and I'm here to just be a friend
And what I also
and not rescue anybody. Remember this illusion of rescue? That's an illusion.
And I had to learn that everyone
Yeah,
has a
totally.
different hobby. So if someone wishes to have their level 1 experience of complaining and whining, and they do it for years and years and years and years, and there's zero you can say or do or whatever, then it's like I have to tell myself, you know what, it's their hobby. Do I
Yeah,
have to
their
support
level 1
their hobby?
experience is
It's
what
like
they came here for.
It's like the alcoholic, the anonymous alcoholics. It's
Yeah,
like,
Alcoholic Anonymous. Those people go to those meetings, and then we just were laughing about it, date each other
yeah.
and marry each other.
That's what Mark did.
Right. So they date each other and marry each other in an experience that was quote unquote their lowest of the lows.
Yeah, and then
Let's go find a club and let's go every day and then let's marry each other in it and let's vibrate in that and swear that we're better, and yet
Yes.
we're in the lowest of the lows of the low, and we
Do you
stay
know
there.
that those
Yeah.
two churches, the church that you were at for the healing,
Uh-huh.
and the one next door, between the two of them, there are literally 20 meetings a week for AA, open to the public,
Mm-hmm.
because the Episcopal Church barely has any members.
All right, so I now raise my hand and say we
Joy
will
meetings.
see joy meetings
Joy
in our life
meetings.
where people
Yes.
will go
Absolutely.
20 times a
10
week
20 times a week.
to
yeah.
just encourage each other like we're doing
Be
right
joyful.
here. Be
Yeah.
joyful, share something happy, good, a level 2 experience or
So,
3 or 4.
Between us, every Monday morning, the first thing we do, we have a joy meeting. That's our first thing. We
Yeah.
take our daily
Week
asking
and say,
journals
what are we
and
asking
what
for
is
this
our
week? What's
now?
our joy
What is
this
our
week?
Joy?
And how can we support each other in our joy? And if you pick 1 or 2 things, the idea is do something every day that brings you that satisfaction and that joy, and then smile. So I did this, and I did it exactly so it would hang, so I could hang it here, so that I could smile and get a little silver imprinted in my water every day, and I could smile. So I actually drew the picture before we took it, so that I had a purpose. I purposed this before we even knew where on this, because most people bend closer to the bigger part. I wanted it to hang.
And
so
I wanted to do,
purposed
like,
it.
instead of spoon bending, I wanted to do fork bending.
Yeah, because she already did a spoon.
But I advise take the spoon instead.
Well, I look
Then
forward
you
to
don't
that.
get stabbed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
like it came out the same way I did it before. So even if I had a different intention, so for me it was the experience of, okay, obviously my subconscious always goes the same way. It always goes the same way. Always goes the same way. Okay, now it's a fork instead of a spoon, but I meant to do it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
However, it came out exactly the same. So we all have different experiences, even with this one little exercise. It's so great.
Yeah, so some people twist this way, they turn it this
So
way,
I had
some
really
people
fun.
this
Like
way.
when I
It's
was
just
in
fun.
Austria with Harald, who did the workshop with us, he had like a whole box of bent spoons.
All different ways.
And I was like, okay, let's see, because I'm still a psychologist, so we did a lot of studies in my
But
early days.
of course, Sylvie and I always have to have it exactly the same because we're the same person energetically.
Yeah, that's like really, we go by some person, and then when the second one comes,
They can
like,
only see one of us.
you just walk by me. It's like so interesting. So even when we say things, it's
Yeah,
Some
weren't you
people
just here?
people perceive
Weren't
us
you
as
just
the
here?
same,
That's what we
yeah.
hear all the time. So they can only see us as one energy
It's
field.
like
It's
crazy.
very interesting.
So
yeah.
from the moment in 2006 when I came the first time, I took her driver's license. I did every little thing. I couldn't even speak English. I didn't even remember my birthday on there. I went to the DMV and there it's like, oh yeah, but you remember you always get it on your birthday. Ah yeah, right. They gave me every little thing with her ID.
You're like twin souls. You just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
came from
So
the
it just
same-
was right. It's one.
And I didn't think of anything because I
So
was
we were laughing, and I really, it's interesting because when Sylvie did we did hypnotherapy with Vilma, was it then? And we asked who we were in the past, and you said Moses.
Yeah.
And I'm the disciple Luke, the physician. So that's when people come to me and say, could you help me with the healing? He's the doctor.
Yeah,
And
so
so by
obviously
divine
you-
right, I can declare you healed. Why? Because that was just who I was. And my
Incredible.
secretary took a class. And so I never thought, this was the first thought I ever had of such a thing. And just go back as far as you can in your mind. Yeah. Where are you? Let's go back, time of Christ. Okay, before Christ. I said, stop at the time of Christ. I'm there. Who are you? I'm the disciple Luke.
And for me, it was always like
Was
I
that
was
in a
wondering
channel
why
session?
everyone is
Were you in a
following me
trance or
all the
something?
time.
Just
Like in
hypnotherapy. My
college,
secretary took a weekend
on the
class.
ship. I had a fan
And
club.
all of a sudden, bang, it was there.
I had a fan club on the ships.
Because I was wondering why I opened a
not
healing
surprised.
center.
So I mean,
I
there
was
were
in
people
law.
Yeah.
booking cruises just because I was on the
But
ship.
you were totally fed up with
Crazy.
the whole energy and the
Well, that was
fight
so
and the
worldly. The
struggle.
idea, though, is it's like, oh, now I get it. And I kept saying I work with 12 practitioners. I kept walking around telling everybody, oh, I'm here with this, and we have 12 practitioners here, 12 practitioners. And so when she did this and I declared I was the disciple Luke, it made sense completely. Why do I own a healing center? Why do I own with physicians there? There are 3 medical doctors that I had with me. It was so amazing. And so that's why by divine right, I know when people come, they can be healed. And I've seen so many miracles in my time coming through my house. And that's why I have that much confidence. It's not confidence in this, it's confidence in the energy field that was before.
Imbued into you. Yeah, you were
Yeah.
imbued with.
It was from the beginning.
Yeah, then
I
on
have
cruise
zero
ships, I was,
training.
like,
Just so you
really-
know, medical, zero training.
Yeah. The following.
Right?
things.
Complete.
So I could tell any excursion, everything, because everyone on the ship always wanted to do what I did. So the following of people, like with the Moses thing, that's the energy.
Oh, they wanted
Yeah.
to do the activities.
They
that-
wanted to do
What
exactly
she would lead.
whatever I leaded. So being a tour guide was my actual, like the best
Yeah.
job.
And you
now
wonder, how
it's
is this? Because energetically, it's your divine right. And that was what I started noticing. And I gave up my divine right when I kept saying, oh, people want the MD after the name. Oh, people want it to be the nurse. Oh, people want it. And then I just got on my knees and I said, okay, God, what is it going to be, here? Just use all this information. And then he made it clear. He said, you know what? If you were good at what you did, would people go to a tent to get healed? Yeah, right? We would all go to the parking lot. So
We
are they
also
going for the
listen to
title? Are
Donkey.
they going for the name? Or are they going for you?
For you, every time.
So that's why I work in my house, because it doesn't matter where I am to do this.
Right.
Because they're coming for the energy field that was gifted me, as we're all gifted. It just so happens that's why I've seen blind eyes heal in my own house. And when I really look back and people say oh yeah, remember when you straightened my bow legs out? And I'm like, oh really? And they say, yeah, my bones, could you come and fix this day? Because you fixed those legs, and I'm like, really? That's cool, man. Because you just forget, so many. And then because I kept screaming to God saying, where's my instant healing? And he's like, hello. And then the phone would just ring and they're like, remember when you did this? Remember when my lungs were filled with fluid? And then they took an x-ray the next day, it was totally fine. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Or like you saying, remember when I had this shoulder that needed a $30,000 quote unquote surgery because something was disconnected? Or Mikel, which was right here, was saying that they said he had a cracked hip and now he's playing Frisbee the next day.
And he
so
could bend down again.
and he can bend down for the first
all
time.
the
His girlfriend said, "Are you a different boyfriend? What happened to you?" And he just came over and we just did those little zapper things. And so miracles, just those little zappers.
The dolphins?
Yeah, just the dolphins. And now he can bend over and play frisbee all of a sudden, just like that.
Because it's like you have to go with your
But the
belief
X-rays had a
system,
big
what
crack
can
in
you
his hip
believe?
bone.
So for her, it's like the skio, it's a well wave, and it's a zapper. So I can heal everything with these 3 tools. It's a belief system.
Yeah.
If you
God
go
said-
in like Daniel Collender or Reinhard Bonke did,
Yeah.
they were healing without it. So it's our belief system. What
And it's
is-
my cow in the parking lot, I call it.
Yeah.
People want cool stuff. They come
Yeah.
in for cool stuff. That's my belief system. So the more
Yeah.
cool stuff I have, it's fun. I think it's fun, right? Oh, let's feel this. Let's do this.
I mean,
it's
the
all toys.
the
It's
true
all
thing
fun. Yeah.
is, if we sit on our couch and we really put our mind to it and
Same
call
as
on
this
God,
spoon
it's happening.
is that area. We fix it. Yes.
And the thing is, you have the complete realization that it's immaculate conception, that every being is created by God as perfection.
As
Yes.
And
perfection.
that when the mind and the emotions sway and throw off the blueprint of the energetics, the DNA, it creates a warping. So you just see the perfection.
Yeah.
And you know that Jesus created perfection and it's all been released anyways.
Right.
The
And I had
39
that from
stripes,
birth.
So you just,
Right.
what's that?
And I had that from birth because I would
Yeah.
challenge preachers as a child and say, "What do you mean I'm a sinner? What is that?"
See, I used to say the same thing.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd say,
like,
"Excuse me,
so hard
that,
to do everything
that whatever
right."
you're saying is applying to wherever you want to apply it. This is pure.
Not to me.
This is 100%
Wow.
saved by grace. That's it." And, my parents had to watch this, where I would just go, "Excuse me, I got to go up there and tell them the truth." We're perfection.
Absolutely.
Because of the stripes, 2,000 years ago, energy shifted.
Yeah, her mother always says
now
like,
forever.
You couldn't see her, but you could hear her everywhere. She talked 24/7 anyways.
Yeah. So it was really amazing that as I look back, it's like, wow, that declaration was already there. So I know that I can hold the vibrational field. And Luke, the physician with Christ, obviously held the vibrational field. And that was the one bit of the popcorn bowl that when I got, and that is, and all of us can do this. All of us. The reason I was so enamored by the field or Lynn McTaggart was she was explaining this. And where I was just a kid or just a teenager or whatever saying, okay, I get it. I see all the miracles. I'm part of all these miracles, not quite understanding it. And she's putting it in real terms.
Yeah.
And that gave me excitement to know about the field work so that I could then start explaining it. And these classes, again, all started, this whole miracle group started because on my birthday, remember, satisfaction, a lot of us is to give. On my birthday, my 50th birthday, we started this so that I could give back because I spent this huge amount of money for $225 a class. There's where the price came from. MTM, Million True Millionaires, is $225 for the whole year.
For
I
every
paid
class that is on there.
$225 with Yatsik per class. And we went in with this lady for 1 hour at a time, and she was able to explain it so that it was more like a classroom, so we can have classes like we are now. Structure. Very good. Because I'm just a free spirit. So the structure was there, and I paid for the structure. And then I thought, after all this money, wouldn't it be nice to share it with Skyder and Vilma and our friends? And that's how we all began, 6 years ago. That's how we began the Miracle Group, is it was just fun to share it as friends. And with all that effort and all that money. And so that's what Yatsik's laughing about, and Skyder was there to hear the words. He said, the difference is you used it for the last 6 years. And I forgot to. Yeah, right? He just said that. He was cute.
And he made it difficult for himself, right? Because he didn't.
Yeah.
But now
He
he is
understands
Sky.
the principles. The difference was putting them in action.
That reminds him every day now that creation is light and easy because Sky is like always.
Sky's
like
with
this.
him, so he's got a second energy, and it's
Yeah,
easy for him to do it now and all that. Yeah.
And obviously
So
she
it was-
wanted to live together with him right away. So.
Right. So he
Instead
spent,
of waiting 3 years.
and this is really a great example, right? If you want to move on in your life and you just went through this, I want to share this, and the car wasn't quite the price you wanted, and I know JJ was great to say it'll come back 100-fold in different ways. The idea is this: we have to throw away the whole sheet. We have to roll up the entire tablecloth and let it go, knowing that it's God's car. You were just borrowing it. and he'll always give you a car to drive, better and better. And when you just let it go completely, in total faith in that moment, right? But you have to let it all go. That's why you went back and got everything fixed up, and it's all gonna go. The house is going, the car is going, it's all gonna go. You did such a good job with this, Oscar. And when in that moment, energy shifts, when you let it all go. Yatsik, the moment he let it all go, he was divorced within 30 minutes.
No, the same thing happened to me, driving to the courthouse. I mean, back and forth, over 40 fights for this divorce. And I said, God, it's in your hands. And every time I went to court, I'd have to go looking for my lawyer. There was 6 levels to the courthouse. Sometimes it would be on level 4, sometimes it was 5, and I'd go to 5 and I needed to be up. I mean, I was up and down the stairs. And then my feet would shrink because, you know, here your feet swell.
Yeah.
And I'd be going up the stairs. One day I'm going up the stairs with my attorney, and my shoes went and I'm barefoot going up the stairs. I mean, talk about, you know, the shoes had like,
Yeah.
my feet shrunk because it was so cold and the shoes were too big. Yeah, it was so embarrassing and exhausting. And that
Right.
day when I gave it over to God,
Yeah, and that's a great word you just used, exhausting. Yatsik experienced that exact, and Skydra was with him. It was exhausting for him, right?
yeah, and
Okay.
He repeated the same story for over 2 years.
Okay, so there's the key word, James Stevens.
Let me.
That's it. When you started being an illusion with this, it felt
An angel.
exhausting.
Exhausting and disassociated from reality. It just, like, I was no longer here with in context. And that happened actually after, some years prior when I had the accident in
Yes.
February. And then half a year later, and I was hit by the car, and I just really was disconnected.
Right. And then we talked about, so watch legal cases, guys. Do we ever really win?
No.
No. Stay out of it. That's why the Bible says if they ask for your shirt, give them your shirt and your belt and everything else. You know, give them your second garment too. Take off your shirt and hand it to them. Why? The sooner we hand off the energy change, we
Exactly.
have free for God to bring in the new energy exchange.
And that's when
It
I
seems
shifted.
expensive, like right now when you come home with your checkbook or your wallet, there's a little less cash in it than what you really had a dream of in that moment. The idea though is once that energy shift is done, now whoosh, the
Comes
attraction
in so
will
many
all come in.
ways.
And that's where I actually started coming embodying again.
Yeah.
Once we started doing this healing work, because I was in
I'll
another
give
field.
anything.
Yeah.
And same thing with
Progression.
emotional.
And it ended the whole set. The whole thing got done.
Everything opened up.
Yeah.
So Clarissa, same thing with people, right? That are not right in your life or they're
Yeah.
causing problems in your life. So what do you do about that?
Well, the first thing is you go sit on your couch and you say, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I allowing myself? You're them. Remember that. Remember, everybody in your life is a part of you. So look at them and as a saying, okay, why am I playing? That's why when the phone rings, I said, what am I calling myself up for now? You know, and the person's selling you this. Why am I selling myself that now? You know, wasting my own time, right? Why am I wasting my time? We're everybody, because you're alone with God in this experience. So then start saying, okay, what can I allow better in my life? So that's why we sit down and we say, I can allow to be loved. I can allow to be respected. I can allow my time to be respected. I can allow, and then reformat what you can allow for all humans in your life experience. I can allow myself to feel good about everybody who calls me. So in that case, when that person, you can just say, all right, I can allow myself to only be around people that I love and that love me and that we have a mutual exchange. And I also can allow others to slip away.
And if
This
you want to
other
have
fake energy. because it's an
Carissa's
illusion.
level 5 experience of having this thing, it's like you turn your phone off or you totally misplace your phone, you never read any emails, and
Yeah.
you just know that everyone and everything that is supposed to come to you will show up and knock at your door.
Right. So most of you who've known me know that I never answered my phone or my emails for years and years and years. And I did that as an example, not because I was better than anybody else, or I did that to keep the channel open. If one human could just do that in this day and age, not have a cell phone. I had a flip phone till just going on the trip to take pictures. My phone's been disconnected from my house for over a month. I don't know. So if anybody's called me, good luck, because there's no phone right now. So I do that so that there's still a human that's just channeling. Because even Abraham Hicks has every cell phone known to man, she says on her tapes. I did it purposely to never send a text. You've now met a person who literally till I'm 50, till a year and a half ago, never sent a text or an email in my life. I did it on purpose, with total design, so that the only way I can get a message is from God.
I love that.
That's the message. That was why I did it. I did it so that
And
the
everyone
distraction
showed
is
up and
zero.
looked.
And you're still all here in my life, right? And I've got plenty more. And then people would say, I know, I just pray before I call. I said, please pray before you call, so that then the connection will happen. If indeed, so I saw you on the grass. That was enough connection, right? I smiled, I laughed, and I sent you prayer in my heart and my head when I saw you there. She was in my neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
So
Riding a bicycle.
So the
I know
idea,
that.
right? So the idea is, I could have said, "Oh, I've got to go there and tell her hello," or I could just smile and say, "I'm satisfied knowing that what a dear heart she is." And I saw that smile as I drove down the street with my puppies, and she's on her bike with that big smile, and I said, "All is well. It's already done."
When I played with myself the last week, I tried like a lot of things, and last week I tried. The moment I wish to connect with someone, they connect with me before. So I have these experiences, you probably had all of these before, but I had them like every single day that I wish to text someone. The moment I took my phone, I started texting, a message come in with the answer already what I was texting.
Yeah, and they're there.
And I
And
have
we all
like
have
so many
that.
feeds now on my phone just saying, and all the other people are like, oh, that's amazing. I just, like, you texted me the same moment I texted you with the same text, basically. And I know it happened with us once. Yesterday or the day before.
The other day, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We did.
open
We wrote the
yourself.
same thing.
Yeah.
Right. Open yourself up to all that. The energies in it happens the same moment your thought and your word happens. It's already done. It's already done. It's already done. It's already done. I know that because I've lived it right here in this day and age as an example sitting in front of you who's lived that all, it had to come from God. Every phone call had to come from God. It had to come. That was the only phone I had. My head, my heart,
And we know
God.
the more we rise now in our being awake and conscious, we know that telepathy it's completely possible and we can connect this way. This is how this happens. We know exactly what the other one is thinking. We know exactly what the other one is answering. So it comes more and more and more and more now. It's accelerating now. So these things are good for communication right now, and it's great to be connected all over the world. So like whenever I call my mom, she's like, "Oh, you must have heard that my heart was wishing for you to call right now because I was like, I wanted to speak to you right now."
Yeah.
That's every time I call her, she says that. I mean, maybe it's a saying, but it's like that's how she feels.
No, but that's what we do all
Yeah.
the time.
Right,
I take the phone and he's calling, or
Right.
Yeah.
it's the opposite. Like it's really.
So we know like this is just a tool for now, and in some years we maybe have mastered it to talk with each other.
Without the
Absolutely.
thing in our hand. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we see that more and more now, even like with our conversations we have.
Because I think our spirits are communicating.
Communicating
not the
already
physical body,
before.
but before.
Before.
So you can do it, and I've done it many times, and one of the greatest things is, because I always want to be calm, these are the things we talked about in Satisfied, I was in a lease, and I was wanting to have a copy of the lease, and I thought, oh gosh, it was 5 years ago that I signed that, and somebody was challenging me. It was DeVoe Cadillac, and the guy who owns DeVoe, and I said, you know what, right now I want to go to bed refreshed and knowing that it's all fine, so I'm going to just step out of my car and I'm going to call forth the man who has a copy of my lease that can make that phone call. So I just walked to the back of my car right in the Bed Bath & Beyond parking lot here, and I said, Neil White. And that moment, Neil White was right next to me.
Seriously.
And he took care of the phone call and the lease right here in Naples. And
The
I'll tell
moment
you the
stepped
second
out of your
time.
car.
Yeah, the moment. I was going to the vacuum cleaner store. So again, have your fun. I like the vacuum cleaner store because I do have to vacuum every day, and I like new bags in my vacuum. So the next time I did that, I was helping some homeless people, and there was no place for them to go. And I had put them up in a hotel room one night here, and then I went outside. My daughter went inside Office Depot right here on 41, and I said, you go inside for a minute. I got to talk to God in the parking lot. And the law was that they were going to get this place that I was going to rent for them with the church, but the last people, I called the landlord and they had to be evicted, and they have this policy in Collier County. At that moment, they had a policy where you had like 2.5 day eviction. Like you have to post the notice, you have to go away for 48 hours or something, then come back and you can evict them. The old people that were already gone. There was nobody in there, but they have to do this formality if the lease isn't properly broken. So I said, God, I know this is Collier County and I know it's Tuesday at 1:30 in the afternoon. Gosh darn it, you get those people in that place right now. I'm standing in the parking lot this loud saying this to God. I said, right now. They changed the law in Collier County to immediate eviction at 1:30 as I'm screaming. The guy calls me back saying, hey, guess what? They changed the law in Collier County. Did you know?
Of course, I ordained it.
Yeah, I'm still in the parking lot screaming at God. Just a minute, hold on. And I said, God, that's it.
Good job. Good job.
Good job. Yep, thank you. Good time. Because I said, God, Friday, no. I say to God, Friday? That means that I did this big effort. I put him in a hotel. I got him a place to stay in his backyard until this is happening. We had a barbecue. I bought groceries for him. I did everything I could. It's got to be now, God. And then my girlfriend had called me, and it was Valentine's Day, and she had an order of the state against her in Tallahassee, Cindy Donnellan. And it was Valentine's Day night, and I called the governor's office because I know the governor, and I called his legal guy. His lawyer was on the phone. It was late. It was Valentine's Day night, 10 o'clock at night. And I said, I have this dear girlfriend, and you have this order for her, and it just has to go away. Now, he says, lady, it is 10 o'clock on Valentine's Day evening. Nothing's happening at 10 o'clock at night to help you. I said, I'm just telling you, it has to go away. I don't care if you're a donkey. Right now I'm declaring it's going away because as long as I declare it, God promises it'll happen. 8 o'clock in the morning, girlfriend calls me. Guess what? I'm online. Everything's gone. They dropped it all. We have so much power. We have so much power, guys. These are just my personal, and I can tell you every day I do this. Laws can change. Tallahassee can change things for you. Everything, because God's Tallahassee. God's the telephone. God's the everything. So if you need to speak it, my friend was in Moorings Park here, gentleman Lee Jacobs, and he wanted to, I was driving down the street at Goodlet, and he was getting into a nursing home because he was 90 years old, and he didn't have any family left. It was only him. So I said, my friend deserves the best nursing home. I think Moorings Park is the best nursing home. He deserves Moorings Park as I'm driving down the street. I said, God, it's Moorings Park for him. And when I went down, I pulled into Moorings Park. I told him, let's meet over there and we'll go look at the nursing home together because I think you should be in the most expensive, best one because you're my friend. So we meet over there in Moorings Park, and he gets in, of course, right? And I said, oh, this is wonderful. And they said, yep, we have a bed. You get it, because you have to be a millionaire to be in there. You have to leave them your money and da-da-da-da. That's how they do it.
Moorings Park, make sure we leave
Yeah.
the rest of the
$0. You just walked in. They have one building over there where you can just be in. You get a little one-bedroom condo, and you can be an average person, and it's all great. And I said, great. So my friend's moving in here right now. They're like, what? I said, yeah, he's moving in. Then they say, well, and I said, he's 90, so we gave away all his furniture and all that because, this is it. This is his final resting place. This is it. And then I said, so do you have some furniture for him or something? And I go, lady, these are unfurnished condos. I said, yeah, people do pass away. This is the nursing home. There's got to be some furniture. Can you look around, right? So I said, go upstairs and look. So then they call me back 5 minutes later and they say, oh, yeah, we've got some furniture. We got everything. We have a table. We have couch. We got the big screen TV. We got everything. All he needs is a mattress. I said, okay, yeah, I'll get a friend. I call up Best Western, which is his friend. I said, Russell, you have a hotel. Could you give me a queen mattress? You change the Oh, yeah, I'm changing all the mattresses. Can I have an old one and just put it on there, Oh, sure, I'll bring it over. So he's totally moved in 5 minutes. Now, though, he had signed up for the lesser nursing home, and he said, oh, gosh, I have this contract. and that they say that you don't get your money back. They keep half of the thing or whatever. As people heard this, I go, oh really? I don't know what that is. So okay, give me a phone number to call. He gives me a phone number. Get an answer machine. I said, oh hello, I'm calling on behalf of Lee. And we're so happy that you're going to be able to give that room to somebody who's really, really in desire of that room. This is my exact message. I wrote it down before I started. And we're so happy to get the full deposit back immediately. Thank you for that full deposit back immediately. Here's the address. The one you have on file is great. I'll read it to you again. And I'm so glad that somebody's going to enjoy that room who can really, really use that room. We had that check in a day. Full thing. To an answer machine I talked. Because I can believe. The answer machine's God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. Talk to a donkey. That's why I say you can scream in the parking lot. Scream to the parking lot. Scream it wherever you have to scream it. The idea is it's all God anyways. It's all God. Talk to the plant. Talk in your home. Talk to your ceiling. Talk to your lamp and just call it God and say, God, energy, bring it.
So everything else is an illusion.
Everything else is an illusion. I mean, this is just, I can go on and on and on and on and on. And in every moment with my daughter getting into this college, the same thing. I started dreaming up that she would need more paperwork. And then I said, stop that illusion, Carissa. I said, okay, this is the last time. I'm leaving it on the altar now. Just what I put is fine. One signature, that's all the paperwork they need. One signature. And I called the answer machine to this person. I'm glad it was the answer machine. It's really easy to believe an answer machine. Hello? What I sent you is exactly perfect. You got my signature. It's all good. Put her in the school. It's all fine. It's all done. Thank you. You got enough. I put my other kids in just with that signature. That'll be fine for you. Answer machine back. Sylvia listened to it. The next morning, 8 a.m. Oh yeah, that signature is fine. That's enough paperwork for us.
And it's so easy between the two of us because I never know the story before. I just take the cards from the person and I just say, oh yeah, no, it's just like,
it's all set.
Yeah, everything is fine. Yeah, she sent you everything. Yes. Okay, then everything is good. It's the same with the screen story. When I received the call of, your screen is here. What is the credit card number? Oh yeah, hold on 1 second for me. I get the credit card number.
Yeah.
I've got a bill for my tax return, and my tax return was half of what it was last year. Last year I brought in 2 boxes, and it went up $75. I understood that. This year it's as much as it was last year for 1 box plus another $75. And I'm looking at the charge for it, and I'm thinking, this really didn't take very long to do because they show you 2019 and 2018, and they compare it. And
so get satisfied. See, do you see what happened? You were less than satisfied right now.
Less than satisfied with the bill, right? I'm not happy.
But it's your gut.
Yeah.
You can only make miracles when you're satisfied.
So I'm not satisfied with the
Though
bill.
the universe has to feel you being satisfied, and then it'll give you more.
Okay, so I'm satisfied with the job that they did.
You have to be satisfied with all of it, Donna.
The
You're
bill?
satisfied that you have enough money to pay. You're satisfied that it's great. You're satisfied that it's done. You're satisfied. And God, it'd be really nice if right now you change the law. Right now you make my bill this figure. It'd be really great. It'd even make me feel more satisfied if my bill would
Ask
be.
God to lower the bill
Yes.
by $200.
Yeah.
Remember my story with the
I-
bank?
With the-
The bank, when I had like this overdraft, I had no idea because I have a second bank account I rarely look at, and the next day I got this message that I have this overdraft, and already they posted like this huge fee of like $35,
So we were together.
and I was like,
For a moment, she was less than satisfied.
It's
She was.
like, really?
That's what she. Really? Just like you said. $75.
I mean, yes, I can pay it. Do I wish to pay for it?
And so then-
no.
Yeah, no.
Right. So,
So-
Sylvie, what did we say? So then she looked at me and I said,
I just asked for the refund.
just ask. Ask and you shall receive.
But did you have to go to the satisfaction point before asking for the refund?
She was, because I brought her up and said, oh, I can do that?
And the
Okay,
thing is,
okay,
like,
so that
the
was a
first
shift in
thought
which
that
you-
came to my mind, oh, it's
Right.
my mistake, so I pay for my mistakes. Remember this phrase, I pay for my mistakes?
Okay, so there was the interesting thing, and I said,
Really?
what's a mistake? There isn't such a thing.
Yeah.
So what are you paying for an illusion for?
Yeah, so
How about you just
So
declare
this
your
way
money
I
back?
could drop it. I'm not paying for mistakes, so,
the
I
bill
don't
is
pay.
$600. I declare that I only want to pay $400.
Yeah, that I'm satisfied
So I
paying
went to the bank and
I'm
I actually
satisfied
said,
paying
$400, and it makes me feel so good, God. Help me with that satisfaction.
And then how do I tell the CPA he's only getting $400?
So what I
You just
did-
mail him $400. Say thank you so much for my taxes. It was so wonderful. I'm glad that that you did such a nice job.
Or
Remember
even
the thank
ask
you note?
them what is. Oh, I'm like a little like I'm just
I'm
want
so
to
happy.
ask you what is the price? What is it $400? Because you have to go in and declare again. So having all your stories over the years declaring on answering machines, I went to the bank and I just declared. Oh, and by the way, thank you for
Refunding this.
refunding me. And she's like, oh yeah, this is. I have to ask my manager, but the manager also knew me, so it's like, yeah, but. It's okay, you will have your money back. That's what she said to me. So, and I went on. The other thing is like, so when I came in with this thing, it's like, okay, I wish to have like a notification. I wish to have more than like, oh, this already happened. I wish to know when these kind of things happen. It's like, oh yeah, I changed your bank account. And that's the second time they changed my bank account. The first time they changed my bank account because I said, I'm zero interested in pay every month for my bank account. I wish to have a free bank account. So I went in and I said like, I wish to have my monthly money back for what I was paying on the bank account. Oh yeah, we have a free bank account now. I changed it for you right now. So the second time I came in, oh yeah, we have this new bank account. This new policy that you have for 24 hours for an overdraft to like even it out
can go,
before
yeah,
you
yeah.
even like pay the fee.
You can go
I was like,
online and
thank you.
transfer.
So they're changing the laws like every time I go in a bank when I have something what I play with myself.
You're right.
So it's
Remember the
also
bank
the
is
same.
you,
So there's
Donna.
an answering machine, and I'm going to call it tonight.
Yep,
I'm
and just
gonna
say, thank you so much. I'm so excited to send you the $400 to satisfy my bill for my taxes. I
Can you
really
call me
enjoy your
and-
firm, paid in full, $400 paying it in full.
Like I did in 2018 or like
Yeah.
2019.
Just boldly declare that's
That's
how
right.
you're
It's a
getting
confidence.
You're talking to God.
Okay.
Confidence.
You keep thinking there's others in your life, Donna. This is your thing.
There's no.
There's zero others.
Just you and God.
You and God. This is experience between you and God. So if you're going to scream at somebody, scream at God. He loves it. Green flash would be nice, right? Talk to God,
And
scream
they're
at
going to
God.
accept $400.
There's no
God.
they.
Yes.
What?
God
You
will accept.
you allow yourself to pay $400.
Yes. And you allow satisfaction with 400 on all sides, right? Because there's you and God, and that's all it is.
Satisfaction on
and it's
both sides.
It's confidence
Yes.
and believe in it. Completely believe
Leave
it.
it on
So
the altar, Donna. You take it up. If you
When
think
we
one
go
more
in a
thought, you take it
bank,
off. And that's
we
what Yahtzee
declare
did,
what's
right?
going
He
to
played with
happen.
that thing for 2.5 years. That divorce thing. Oh, what if this? Oh, that. Oh, I got it. Oh. I mean, this is how he was thinking. And we call it this. He was negotiating against himself.
Yeah.
You're negotiating against yourself the minute you take it off. Negotiate with God. Go scream whatever you want at him. He'll listen. Say, this is it, God. This is what I'm going to do.
And
You
you
do
like
the rest. This is what I'm
adversity. You
here
like
for.
that.
I like what?
Adversity because you always play that with yourself.
I like adversity.
Yeah, it's a hobby of yours.
Set it down.
And it's okay. It's okay if you have this hobby.
Oh, wait a minute. What do you mean it's a hobby?
Because we play it all the time. So something that is like not necessary and we do it all the time, it's a hobby, right? That's the
So
definition of a hobby.
Donna, Yahtzee did the same thing. For 2.5 years,
Yeah.
we heard every kind of story coming out about that divorce that you could stomach.
Right.
And finally he came over with Skydrop. And I'm like, oh, is it him at the door? Right? Because I'm going to hear the same stories or more stories. And he said,
And he repeated
I brought
the
you
same
some more
story.
papers. And I said, what? I said, what do you really want? And I said, do you really want to be divorced? I said, yeah. Then I said, throw the papers away. It's done. Be done. Wash your hands of it. Shake the dirt off your sandals and just declare, give her everything. Because you're giving it back to God, and He's going to re-bless you. He's going to re-gift better things to you that fit you now. When he finally set those papers down, that this counselor suggested that, and that lawyer said this, and that one thinks you're unstable, and that, all these pieces, right? All printed
You
up. so
repeated the
nicely.
story to everyone and everything over and over. So just between the two of us, we heard it for 2 years.
And Skyler
every
heard
month.
it all, and she just met him. And so if we heard it, 25 other people heard it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where now, in 1 minute, he decided to set it down. That was the same thing with you and your shoulder illusion. In 1 minute, set the whole thing down. When you set the whole thing down, it is done. Declare it finished. This is what's going to satisfy this world. This is in my world. This is what's happening. Set it down and leave it there. When you do that, the world shifts and changes. That's why I always go to bed already declaring it. Even if it's to the parking lot, even if it's to at the vacuum cleaner store, it doesn't matter. I do a lot out in parking lots. I'm talking out there all the time in parking lots.
And I'm just saying it's a hobby because you play with it over and over. You repeat the story in your mind. You repeat it certain times. You repeat certain
It was
things.
a miracle, right?
Because it's like on your
he
heart
just
right
got
now.
done with it, and it was
And
done
instead
in
of
30
saying,
minutes.
okay, this is over and over.
And
and
I
over,
just
this
looked
is
at
how
him. I
it
said,
is.
"You're
Go
my friend.
into what is
Am I
the
hearing
real
more
outcome.
shit, or are you done?
$400.
If you're
And you
done,
go in
this
with
is how to be done.
confidence. It's between
Done.
you. Like if you answer
Open the door, open the back door and the front door, and
$400
let it
it's
all
done.
through, and
don't
just
even
say,
go in
have it all.
doubting. It's like, oh,
Have
but
it all
they
start
sent
over,
me
'cause
an
my
invoice
God
for
is great.
600. Oh,
He
da,
gave
da,
me all
da,
that,
da,
he'll
da.
give me
They
more.
did like and
Yeah.
la la la. They,
Because
so
you can see
you
that I'm
overthink
neutral,
it.
that it,
That's
that
all
I don't have to be
overthinking.
That's
attached,
right.
A lot of
that
That's
I'm
right.
not worried. I'm not
Give it to
concerned.
God.
Got out of the way.
Overthinking
He was in the fight.
Go in with
The illusionary
complete
fight.
confidence.
When he
like,
removed
David
himself, the
went
back door and the front door were
Goliath.
open, and all her smoke
He
blew
didn't
right
go in like,
through.
oh, he's bigger than
And
I
now
am.
he's
Oh,
developing
yeah,
a
he's bigger
life.
than I, that I
Are there a
can-
few
that I can vision,
repercussions? Sure. The
basically.
idea, though,
He went
is
with like, this is how
movement
it is.
is happening.
to
Something
say
is
that.
happening versus stagnant 2
Instead
years of
like,
this.
oh,
Same old, same old,
but
same
Same old,
everyone
same old,
else
same
is
old, same old.
saying
Yeah.
he's so
And
much
why is
bigger,
it that
no one
people
wants
hold
to
that
talk,
conflict?
play with him.
Between, like, there's somebody did
It's
them
really just
wrong,
you, what
or
you
they,
declare.
Blame.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's an ultimate, to answer your question, there's an ultimate answer to that
And we
question.
sometimes
Why do
record
we hang
ourselves
on to
because
it?
We wish to have certain adversity.
We think
variety
there's a separation
experiences.
between us
I
and
play a lot
them.
of variety with me all day long.
We're all one.
that's it, yeah.
Well, it's not variety.
He's the wife he's
It
divorcing.
comes down to
It's
it.
adversity.
But
What would you
diversity
give
is
yourself?
variety.
How much of your money would you
Comes
give
back to,
yourself?
like,
All of
need to
it.
have is
That's
variety.
this is like a trick
Comes back,
question,
it's
right?
like an
What
art.
would you give
Diversity
yourself
is
if you
art,
loved
variety.
yourself? Everything.
It's like I allow
So
myself
give
to have this
according to
variety.
you being the other person in the
myself
chair.
to have
Everything. God said, give the shirt off your back. Then I will bless you again.
And you have it.
So
then,
in that moment, for the first time,
and then you.
he was
you
bold
receive
enough to give it
you
all.
receive so much variety all the time.
And therein
from so
lies
many
freedom.
sources.
And now he
Because
will be
you're in
blessed.
this vibration then.
He was already blessed with Skyder being his girlfriend. He's blessed with him having a place to stay now, right? A nice
Now when you
place,
step
this
into
beautiful
the
place.
section, try it out
He's
for
blessed that they
2
both still work.
weeks.
He's going to work every day
Try it
still.
Oh, yeah.
There's money
Stay in the
flowing.
section. Everything is perfect
every
all the
day.
time. All is well all the time. That's why we say
Skyder's
all the
got
time.
joy. He's got joy
All
in
is
his
well
life.
all
The
the time.
daughter has a peaceful
And
place on
then
the weekends
see
to
what
come,
kind of things
right? And a
come
bed
in.
already set up in
Just
Skyder's
know
place.
You send out so much.
They
other
get along.
vibrations before,
You get along perfectly
and
with
then
the
we also
daughter.
return.
It's
So
already
even in
being
our
blessed, blessed,
satisfaction,
blessed,
everything is
blessed.
better. You always have
Already
some
in a
little
moment.
things, some
It's
adversity
all the pieces
always
are there.
comes
Could he
because
see
you
it? Not when
send
he's
it out
fighting.
over the
Can we
years.
see anything when
And
we're
some
struggling?
things
No.
come
Remember,
back
the struggle
years
is
later.
only with yourself in your own
And you have to
closet.
start now
There's
to
zero
get a
person
complete
fighting you.
Satisfaction and happiness.
If you are struggling,
In
you're
order to
struggling
get
with
the-
yourself.
The receiving up in a way that you really
In any
wish
way.
to receive.
In any way,
With another
it
person,
becomes a
Right.
versus.
or your finances, or your car.
You're
struggling with yourself.
and they're
That's
all
it.
extensions of you.
You know,
All
the
extensions
love
of
mirror
things you wanna
back
have,
to you,
wanna
to
have
what
put
is
Can I
Yeah.
accept and allow? Can I accept and allow? I'm a receiver.
Instead of
Am,
other things.
am I worthy?
The thing is, like,
Accept and
you
allow.
must
Am I a
always
good receiver?
remember
So
us
if there's any
from
time your
meeting
gut
you
gets
before,
tight,
playing with
you
you
need to sit
before.
immediately on your couch. I call it couch time, whatever you want to call it, and you have to say, wait, what do I deserve? I'm a nice person, I deserve niceness. I'm a happy person, I deserve more happiness. I now allow more happiness. I allow only happiness. And that's where we set people down that we've put in our own path to trigger ourselves.
The path that you already went.
So
So
the
now it's
idea
time to have a
is
new
to get to a
path
point where you
complete
can love
confidence.
them in step one experiences where they will spend their whole life.
Then I can declare.
My girlfriend is living in her car.
And believe it.
I have
What
bailed
can
her
you
out
believe?
how many times in my
That's
life? I
why we
pay
do
her car
this.
insurance for the whole
It's
life.
your workbook. What can we believe already?
She's living in her car. You know what? I can just be happy and say, isn't that great that I pay for the car so you can live in
Then
it,
do
you
your
know?
purpose real about it. What can you believe
I used to
already?
get her a house and the car
If
and
you
this and
last
that.
year for the same service or less.
Somebody else
Yeah,
gave her a free place
I
to
can
live for
believe
5
that.
years, you know?
So
I mean,
do like
the
whole
joy
belief. What can you
is
believe already?
that
You know,
God
lots
is
of
with
stories
her
of people
and she's in the right place, and I gotta trust
did it
that
already.
because
You can
God
believe
is
that,
perfect.
So, go into
So
what
there's
you believe
something
already.
great that's going to
That you
happen imagine where
happen
she
for
is
you.
in this very moment, and it's the right thing, and God is blessing her.
That you can receive.
And remember, we're not here to see it. It's right below the surface. It's floating in the thin air. Now you can call it in and show me the sign and wonder. Call in the sign and wonder. I want to see the sign and wonder. That's why the law changes instantly, or get the email, oh, it's been dropped. Signs and wonders, and call it in. When you call it in, yep, we're done. So calling in the signs and wonders that's a habit that we develop. So that's why it's a little easier when you're a monk sitting on a mountain, right? And there's nobody bothering you or coming up or talking to you. That's kind of, I was in my monkedness when I let go of the phone and I let go of the emails and the texts and all that, so that I could stay strong to see the signs and wonders instantly. And that's why partnering up, that's why Yatsik did come over in that moment. He needed somebody who was trained up in that monkedness.
In order to connect back to God, we have to disconnect from the world. And disconnecting, you know how that goes, like shutting our illusionary others out.
Yeah.
For sometimes.
We get so addicted to our own variety of others that we created. That's us. It's us in every form. So the ultimate is, yes, you can set the person out and out of your life. The ultimate, though, is loving them just where they are in that step one experience, and laughing with them and encouraging them and smiling with them and just
Loving
saying,
them and letting them go, whatever way they need to go.
Yeah. What is the
Whatever they need to
perfection?
be.
yeah.
Whatever they need to
And
accept
be
them.
so happy for them to be in their experience, because they have
Also
some
see the
contract
perfection
coming
in
here
this
to do
person, and this
Because
person,
they're perfect in their experience.
and
Whatever
Yes.
they're going through.
also this person also mirrors you something, teaches you something of some sort.
that. Yeah, they're part of you.
And then yes, we can have that for a time, if there's such a thing as time. We can have that for this time, and then we can
Make
let
something
them
better.
go and create something better. Yes.
Yeah, it's all
Or
so
we keep
beautiful.
this person, and what is the next thing I wish? Maybe I wish to learn now patience for myself with this person, or whatever you want to play with yourself. And
You can call the prayers in over the. So the way it looks is that God is the great I am. Then there's our third eye, right? Our thought processes of us. And then there's the flesh, the I, that we call I, sitting in the chair. And the power is when we're all in alignment, those three. And that conscious I, your consciousness, the part that wants to argue with a bill that doesn't even exist, you need to put that under your butt, and you need to have God and the I, Carissa, in the parking lot talking, right on top of each other. And the logic, I'm going to use that, the trained up mind, the logic, the ego, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same thing, under your butt, sitting on it, and it's you and God calling forth what it is that you really desire. And when you're in that position, then you can have as many tails attached to you that you created. The idea, though, Donna, is in your case, many times the tail's wagging the dog. Yatsik's case, for 2.5 years, the tail that he created, the story tail he created, the dog tail he created was wagging him. And the day he sat with me and I said, "You're the dog and the tail. You're the whole animal, buddy." And he got it. And he said, "I got to set it all down. I'm just driving myself in circles." He's like the dog chasing the tail in circles and circles for 2.5 years. And it felt like losing your shoes walking up and down the stairs. That when it felt like that, it was uncomfortable. So when we're uncomfortable, we have to set it all down and say, "Oh, wait, let's get clear of what I'm declaring. Let's step into it. Let's release it all to God." And in that very moment, everything will shift. The court case will go away. You settled your case. It was all done. And everything started the minute you declared your health back. We got back into a mode. Everything settled. Everything settled in that very moment. Everything will be the miracle, and every step of it was a miracle in that very moment. When there's God's supernatural power above your power, the you, the I, and the third eye, all this trained up stuff we did.
So you literally have to plug in to God and
And
get
stay
the
there.
result.
Yes.
Oh, that
The
is
printer will print out the answer.
actually that's the name of the book we are going through right now.
What?
Connect to the light. That's it. When God's light is directly over you, And
That's the
you
main
set
message,
down
I always would say
she,
to people, plug in.
yeah,
You're
that's
not
it.
plugged in. Plug in.
Right.
Exactly.
And watch when you trip over your own cord.
Yeah.
So if you're ever saying they, she, he, or it is doing something towards you, to you, or around you, you're unplugged.
They,
She, he, or it.
Okay. So
You know how we want it? They, she, he, or it. They did that. The doctor
Others.
said that. The government
They
said
don't
that. The
exist.
news did that.
It's an illusion.
You have to get rid of it all. The power only can happen when you're alone with God.
So I declare, and then I send him $400. I don't even.
That's it.
I don't talk to him.
Right. There's no them.
Oh.
Stop that word. So in this group, Donna, I'm going to say this for the 150th time. It's recorded now for us to hear this. In this group, everybody, when you show up here, there is no they, she, he, it, doctors, government, IRS. It's all an illusion. There is you and your creator. Call it whatever you wish to call. I call it God and Jesus. And when you are there with your creator, all miracles are the only possibility. Because he's supernatural. So the way he's going to deliver is only one way, instantly, supernaturally. If you're ready for that, then come and join this group. And that's the examples that I give, because it will happen every time.
And the rest
that's
is
the only
our
possibility.
desire for variety. That's the rest.
That's right.
Whatever we wish for. I mean, I said like, how is it like if everything comes right away and I know exactly I have my life by design? Isn't that boring at some point? So I like a little variety in my life. So I'm keep on creating variety for myself to keep myself entertained, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So that gives you your contrast.
Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, so there's the scope.
So she can
Here's
play
where
with
I'm
it.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she's not.
But
But then I have to say like, I
create.
created it.
Yeah.
You know.
So own
I
it. The cookies, the
Yeah.
burned cookies are still your cookies. You baked them. Throw them away quickly. Bake a new batch. You could get that bill 18 times in the mail, or a bill. One time of the 18, you're going to say, this is what I feel, it's paid in full, and you're going to send that back, or however you're going to send it back energetically, or roll it up and mail it to them, and you're going to say paid in full, and they're going to say, yes, it's paid in full. So Babe Ruth went up to strike, the bat. 800 home runs. You know how many times he struck out to get his home runs? Lots. It's okay energetically if we strike out a few times. In this moment, though, it's you alone with your creator alone, and every action that we take is you alone with your creator alone, and all power flows that way. That's the plug-in. That's the direct plug. And we have to set down anything else less than that.
Okay, so I did my focus wheel for my yard
Yep.
and waited and waited and waited. And then there was an issue about something that this man across the street was on the board, wanted to let me know about, and then he mentioned the grass. And I happened to say that I would like it to be shade grass.
Yes.
Right? And guess what I got? I didn't even get grass. I got pine straw for a lawn.
That's right.
And then what happened?
Well, it's been sitting there, and I've been going
So-
in circles,
Okay.
doing other things, and thinking, now
Because
how?
we talked about that.
Yes, we talked about that last time.
What do you mean?
So your belief has to shift into grass. So get a picture of grass, go get a piece of grass and stroke it, go buy yourself your first little bit of sod and just set it right there yourself. Move your pine needles away. That sod costs $1.37. I buy it all the time. I just planted some
Where do
sod
you
for my
buy it?
dogs. Home Depot.
Okay.
Just go grab yourself a couple things
Shove
or
it to
order
the
it
street and
online.
say,
Amazon
"Put
will
a
send it,
sign.
I'm sure. They
People
send
picking it up."
flowers, they can send you grass.
Yeah.
And just put your first piece in, because the universe just wants you to make one step, Donna, one satisfying step, and then declare, boy, am I satisfied with my one little piece of grass.
So just by having this conversation with this man about how I would like to see some
Perfect.
grass,
That's right.
I get pine straw.
Okay. You burned some cookies. Get back in the kitchen, lady.
Start over again.
Start over.
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Recreate
We've all
it.
burned.
Recreate it.
Recreate it. Create it, and like I said, and then do
The
some
same,
steps.
Same with the AC we were talking about at some point.
Well, it's like we know it's going to become this major thing.
Oh, wait. There's no we in this room. There's no we in this room.
I'm not on board.
Ever.
We just
I'm
talked
not on
about
board
that.
that
There's
way.
no. Yeah, we're not. We just
Okay,
learned
wait.
all that.
Okay.
No,
Get
we're
this.
not seconding. There's you and
You
God.
got to get this, Donna. How can we help you?
We is the people upstairs because they will have to be.
No,
There's
no,
only
no,
you and
no.
God.
No. Okay.
You and God.
We gotta put holes in their ceiling to get this done. Okay.
It's
So,
all right.
God.
You say, God, miraculously you're getting a new air conditioning unit if that's your calling, or miraculously you're fixing this existing unit, God.
Or it's
However
just
you're going to
gonna
do
keep
it.
going until I get out of there.
Miraculously, it's
Yeah.
going to keep going. So this
Yeah.
is what I'm
However
saying.
it
You
needs
call
to
it.
get done,
Call
it'll
it,
get
Donna.
done.
Yeah.
Call it, and it's between you and God, and He's a supernatural deliverer that doesn't have to be any holes anywhere.
So stay in faith instead of the opposite four-letter F word.
Yeah,
The opposite what?
4-letter.
The four-letter
word.
F word.
FEAR.
Yeah.
Okay.
So staying in faith means that you're constantly having successful conversations with God, and you can be hot with God. He's fine with that. You can say enough. Like when Yatsik was coming in, it's like this. I'm like, God, now this is it, the final time. We're done. And so I said, you can say that to God the minute you see something. You can say, now you're on my time. And, my vibration. Now this is what's going to happen. So you come into my field, then we're going to get something done here. So do that in your field. You tend to want to play with, and if you can believe that they're all on your side, Donna, they are all on your side, then play with them. If your illusionary theys are anywhere against you, dump it all. You know which way that's going. So remember, neutrality means that you're neutral. When you're neutral, you're sitting here, you're opening the front door and the back door, and you're letting everything blow through. The way you're talking, things are sticking on you a little bit. That guy said this, that one's feeling that one delivered
And then those you go straws, with that this one's doing belief that, system.
one's doing that one.
And this
Just all
belief
over you.
system
And
is
you're all
less
attached
unserving.
to it,
Right.
And you're attached to
What's
those
that?
experiences.
This belief system you're sticking on you is less
This is so
unserving for
powerful.
you. Who wants to
Right.
have this
So
belief system?
Skydra is a really good example of she allows the front door and the back door to be open. She gets the heck out of the way. That's why she got her $6,000 for her car, then $6,000 for her Beamer mat, and then miraculously, and then she got her school paid for miraculously, and she got her boyfriend, and she got all this. How did she get it? I mean, Skydra, you say, you know it.
So take her as a role model.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
literally,
You want to move in with me?
No, you're in charge.
Oh, okay.
You and God.
yeah, you open the front door and you open the back door of your life down and let everything blow through.
Have fun.
Move. You're taking on things.
So one thing Carissa always reminds me of that one sentence I hear maybe once a week. When I catch myself, it's like, Sylvie, get over yourself. So Donna, get out of your way.
Get out of your way, yeah.
Right. It's as much as you can believe you can have. And when we say believe, it's where's your faith, Donna? How big is your faith?
And how much do you deserve?
Yeah.
What do you deserve? That's
Yeah.
exactly
Each of us have to
we might
answer
not
that
believe
question.
we deserve it.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
do. We're
Yeah,
sitting
that's
here
why I
saying
say
we deserve.
You have
We
to
deserve.
believe that you deserve it, and
You
that
deserve
is really big. That's
Because
a
I
big
think
one.
that's what's
Yeah.
happening. I don't
Yeah.
think she believes that she deserves.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've had that issue for a long
And
time.
once you believe that
But
you
it's also-
deserve, magic is going to start happening.
Yeah.
Because you deserve
So
it.
ask her, how are you,
You
on
deserve
that
new grass.
question? I deserve.
So to play in this other
Do you
field is
believe
also a
100%
hobby.
you deserve?
What's that?
It's also a hobby you played
Sure.
with. The less than deserving vibe.
I don't
Yeah.
question
Oh, it's
how
a
Are
I
we
get-
message
talking-
I got.
Yeah, I'm just saying, do you do any testing?
No,
Yeah.
but I don't
And I'm
know
getting
question
better
how to
at
get
it.
things.
You do.
I'm getting
Yeah.
there.
I mean,
but I'm
Level
cars-
slow.
1,
I'm
level
Cars
two,
are
slow.
one
level
thing, like,
3, it's
you know what,
okay.
when it was time to let it go,
It's
like,
okay. No, you're
That's
not
good.
a giraffe.
Let's go.
Remember that.
I told her,
Don't even say
the car
that.
served its
You're my
purpose.
giraffe.
Yeah, I
I'm a
did.
giraffe.
It's time for it to.
And I know that because
Move
I
on.
see
Serve someone else.
giraffe
Yeah.
in you.
And
since I
what
met
a
you.
great time that you could give it to somebody that some people aren't working and all that right now.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
might make some money off it. You probably need more ladies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There you
exactly. Yeah, it's a real blessing in that whole situation. So there's only us. We have to be responsible for everything that comes in the door and goes out the door, and we need to remove ourselves out of the way, and we have to get over ourselves. And then we have to watch how much we're playing with others.
This
And-
was freaking unbelievable.
That was believable.
This was freaking unbelievable.
No, it was. It
Meeting.
is
This was
believable.
It's unbelievable! We're the believers! Bring on the
So believable. It was unbelievable.
So time-
Unbelievably believable.
It is.
I'm a believer.
I'm a believer.
Yeah, we're believers here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, and it answered.
Go ahead and.
You guys, it answered every question. It answered more, but it was such an amazing.
Okay, thank you everyone for listening. We are stopping this after
download.
2 hours and 48 minutes now. I hope you had as lots of fun like we had. Thank you. We love you. Bye.